What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's the word?
Man, can't complain. Life's good. Vibed out with you. You know, got a chance to watch some golf this weekend. Got a chance to.
What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty cool, man. Got a chance to see some history, see some back-to-back, see a, I guess, up-and-coming star in the making as well. So I thought that was cool. I got educated. I feel like you've told me this before, but I totally forgot. And then shout out to, I forgot who it was in the comment section, updated me because I was trying to figure out why everybody's score was so good the first day. And then day 2 and day 3, the scores get worse. And I'm like, yo, you playing the same course, shouldn't it get easier? And then the cat was like, nah, man, they changed, I guess, like the rough, all this other stuff. And I'm just like, you could do that quick of a span? But I feel like you told me they do something like that to switch it up. But yeah, I was like, dang. Because I looked at, obviously, Scotty Scheffler. Yeah, that's how he says it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he killed it was like 60-something on day 1. Then it was 72 or something like that. And I was like, yo, I mean, it's still a dope score. What happened?
Yeah, they do change the pin positions around as the tournament goes. Different pin position for each hole for every day.
Yeah.
But I think for like this given tournament, it was
like the rain at one time.
Yeah, and you know what? The rain actually helps dampen the course, so you could go at pins easier.
Be aggressive. I remember you told me that.
Be more aggressive. But it was just randomly really windy on Friday and Saturday, like much more than ever is anticipated at Augusta. So the guys had to pick their spots, and getting like a score like even par like Scheffler, what he got was like actually a really damn good score because you were just trying to maintain at that point. Like I think the lowest score on Saturday out of everyone that made the cut was -4. I think there was like 2 or 3 players at -3, but everyone, you know, if you were shooting even par, just like 1 under, even like 1 or 2 over, you were doing just fine on either of those days. Like Tiger, he made the cut.
Come on,
and you
bro.
saw he was 1 over,
bro.
but was in the top 25. He ended up
nuts, bro.
absolutely collapsing on Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, I think Friday and Saturday were probably the toughest days to score, and then Sunday it looked like conditions are better, but then you got a major Sunday. I think nerves get into it, and just I don't know if everyone knows how to deal on a Sunday like Scotty Scheffler or guys that have done it
just when
before.
it's like, yo, you gotta be perfect today.
Yeah,
today's the only time.
Yeah.
Cause shout out to the young cat, because obviously Scotty Scheffler went back to back. They said he was another guy who did it like Tiger Woods, a couple of these other dudes. But they also brought up the young cat. Was it Ludwig Adberg? How you say his name? Oberg, yeah. His first major, and he had a chance to win it. I mean, I think he ended second to Scotty. But I was like, yo, who's this kid, man? He was pretty dope. We had a local cat getting after it in the tournament as well. Made the cut.
To play with Tiger.
Yeah, bro. So I was over here like, you know what? Salute. And what I did draw from this weekend, since Tiger did make the cut for a record-breaking, was it 24 times in a row now?
Yeah.
I figured Tiger making the cut at the Masters is like Coach Tomlin not having a losing season. It's just going to happen, bro. Stop betting against it, man. Just, it is what it is. Coach T don't have losing seasons regardless how crazy it looks. And Tiger makes the cut no matter how crazy it looks. So, you know, I like that. I felt good about that. That was like all right, check that off the box. We won today. You know? And then you fast forward to Saturday night where I had UFC 300. Deke, did you see any other highlights? People getting their head knocked off, man?
No clue about any of
Holy
it.
smokes, bro. People was getting their head kicked off from 6 p.m. to about midnight, bro. Had some epic fights, man. Epic moments. Shout out to Max Holloway. I know you've heard his name before.
Sounds familiar.
Him before. He had one of the craziest finishes, KO, knockout, walk off, 1 second on the clock versus Justin Gaethje, a guy that you've also heard before. Gaethje done put a lot of people down, bro. He put a lot of people down. He got his lights shut out, bro. It was insane. I'm talking one of them moments where everybody just like, it's crazy. Shout out to UFC 300. And shout out to my man Alex Pereira as well. Pereira. Yeah, he was out there kicking booty as well. He got hit in the nuts, Deke. Gets hit in the nuts. Tells the ref, yo, chill. I got this. Proceeds to knock the man out with the next punch, bro. Can't make this up. And then celebrates over the body. You ever seen somebody get knocked out and they celebrate over the body, Deke? It was crazy, bro. Craziness, man. Yes, indeed, bro. Yes, indeed. So now it was definitely a vibe this weekend, man. And I'm trying to think, what else did I have? Oh, I got to chill because of that day going rain situation we done had these past couple days, man. So yeah, bro, it's been vibed out, man. It's been a good vibe.
Good to hear.
Yes, indeed, man. So you had any Deke thoughts for us today?
No, not really.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Masters because that was probably what I was going to talk about.
Respect.
But yeah, I don't really have much more to add. Scotty Scheffler is the best player in the world right now. He's been the best player over the last 2 years.
Is he next Tiger?
It's unbelievable. No, I can't say that. That's just how dominant Tiger Woods was.
He just cooked them, though.
Oh, he
back to back.
Well,
they said it's Scotty, and it was like the field. Bro.
I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now, but it's not to the level of Tiger.
But I saw a lot of names that I knew. Bright DeChambeau, I know I've seen DeChambeau before.
Dude.
Why do I know his name?
Because he's a name.
Tony Finau was out. I knew Tony Winkle Cook. I wasn't even tripping on Tony. He looked good with his outfit though. You know, that's why I go for Tony. But yeah, bro, I just ain't realized like the way they talk. I was like, oh, really he that much better than these other dudes right now?
That's where he's at right now. Yeah, look at his results. 2 years, it's insane. I think he's made pretty much every cut, and then like 95 top 25, and then I think like 85 to 90%. Like that's only 1 or 2 times he's top 25. All the others he's like top 10. Like probably 80% of the time he finishes in the top 10. Probably at least 50%, 60% of the time he's top 5. Yeah. Last 4 tournaments this year, 3 of them he's won.
So he's cooking. That's cooking.
And I think the other one was a top 5 finish or a tie for 4th, so something like that. Yeah, he's unbelievable, man. He's unbelievable right now. But he is like that good, as you said. It's almost like him versus the field type of stuff.
Yeah,
that's how it was with Tiger, but Tiger was even more favored against the field. Like Scotty still has a little bit of ways to go to get to that dominance, but he's there now. Like they're saying the stats that we're seeing from Scotty, how much he is favored versus the rest of the field, isn't stuff that we've seen since Tiger. It hasn't been that close since Tiger was in his prime. So like he's up there. Like he's up there in like conversations, but it's still not prime Tiger.
Because it's Tiger. Tiger was on that type of level, bro.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. So Scheffler's in his own tier against the field, but Tiger's in his own tier above Scheffler.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, I get that. I dig that. I could dig that. Dang. Tiger really was on just a whole nother level with it. That's kind of like when I hear people talk about like the whole Wayne Gretzky argument. They're like, yo, he was just, it was a different level that he was on compared to everybody else during his time of playing, man.
Yeah, Scotty's consistency is unmatched right now. He's just got to win more. So he's only got 2 majors. He's got 2 Masters. But he, again, virtually finishes in the top 10 or top 5 in every tournament he plays. So even last year in the other majors, he had legitimate chances to win, but he just didn't pull through. Some people point to his putting, and yeah, he does need to work on his putting. He needs to get better with that, but he switched his putter for these last, I think, 3 or 4 tournaments. I don't think it's a coincidence he won 3 of the 4. So he's that good, man.
Scotty. I'm with it. Like I said, I was trying to see if I should go ahead and jump on the bandwagon. Like, yo, he's the guy. Is that a good guy?
He's my favorite player right now. Him and I root for him and Brooks. Those are the 2 guys I root for.
Okay.
I got a PGA Tour guy, and that's Scheffler, and Brooks is the live guy.
That's like cheating, ain't it?
Nah, you got a PGA Tour guy, you got a live guy.
I thought it was like just one. Yeah.
I'd probably lean Scotty though. I mean, if I had to pick one, it's Scotty. Just a good dude.
Kepka's like dude. That though. I know Kepka.
Yeah, Kepka's legit. He's got the most majors out of all the current guys, like in their prime. Phil Mickelson has 6. Obviously, Tiger has 15.
Yeah, but he's
all the guys that are still in their prime right now. Late 20s, 30s. He's got the most. He's got 5.
So Kepka has 5. Scheffler has 2 now.
Yeah,
but he did it back to back at the Masters, so that's like the big deal.
No, Rahm won last year.
Oh, you're right.
Scheffler
He won
the year before.
Yeah, he won it. Rahm, and now yeah, that's right. Rahm's another one I know. I know that name.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. He's got 2 majors. He's got Masters, U.S. Open. McIlroy and Spieth, they were actually.
I remember those names too. McIlroy won one before because I used to mix him up with the Alabama quarterback.
He might actually have. He has 3 or 4. I think he has 4. Spieth has 3. Like those guys were on their Tiger trajectory because they won so early. They won when they were young 20s. Like they were looking like the next guys, the prodigies and everything. Right. But McIlroy hasn't won a major in a decade. Spieth, his game's fallen off too. Yeah. So Scheffler and even Brooks too. They were late bloomers like this whole major game and being so dominant. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if if I had to bet money, there's no way they're catching Tiger, but they could maybe get close to, they get around 10 or something like that.
Okay.
Koepka could maybe win a couple more.
I would say the last thing that I have then on the Masters before we go on, man. Do you buy was it Aberg? That's what you said it is? Aberg? I'm butchering his name. You know who I'm talking about, man. The young cat. Do you buy it, or was he just hot that day, bro? Because I had never heard of this kid before. Then I was like, yo, well, we've never seen a guy in his first Masters win the Masters, or his first majors win a Master. He was like, yo, this is his chance, and he's the finalist for. He's down in the top 2. It's like, then I seen Scotty went up. It was like he was down 11-7. He was like 11 under versus 7 under, and I'm like, yeah, he ain't about to catch him. He missed the putt, and I was like, it's over. But yeah, bro, like, is he? You buying him?
We'll see. He's got talent. You know this. It's different playing with expectations now.
Ooh, facts. Okay, respect.
We'll see. He's got talent. Yeah, like I expect him to be around for a while, but in terms of like having the game to win majors, he's definitely got the game to win majors. Let's just say the moxie, the bravado to win majors consistently, and again, play with expectations. Play whenever you're being talked about as being a guy to win majors going into these tournaments. We'll see.
Be different.
We'll see. I don't even know if he's going to be hitting that level because he did, like you said, just come onto the scene right now.
Bro. Yeah. It's like, how did I have not heard about his name not once before this, and you finishing the top 2? Like, whoa. Yeah,
there's a couple guys from those European countries like Sweden and Denmark and Norway that have definitely climbed their way up the charts recently. Him and there's another one, Højgaard. Victor Hovland won the PGA Championship last year. They're players, yeah.
Respect. Like I said, so we had the Masters that took place. We had UFC 300 that took place. We also got some beef going on too, man. I don't know if you heard. We had some new music to drop too, bro.
The Ramon Foster podcast.
We had some. Stop it. We're not beefing with Moan in the podcast over there. Moan has been a guest on our show. Moan is a friend of the family now, man. He's he's a friend of ours, okay?
Well,
he's a friend of ours.
You made it seem like it was news. That's why I brought it up.
No.
I thought we were chill, but the way you talked about it, I was like, is there new beef? Is there new beef?
It's other beef that doesn't deal with us. We're just observing the beef, man. But Future, he gave us another track dedicated to the homie Drake, along with some social media captions, even at Birdman. Then we might have an official Drake diss back. We don't know. Is it AI? Is it not AI? It's been some speculation around it, but if it was authentic, Deke, I think we got action, baby, because he was talking, but I don't know if it was AI or not. All right, that's the problem with the way this technology stuff has grown. 10 years ago, we didn't have to worry about this. Now I'm like, yo, is that a deep fake, or is that really him? The AI stuff is crazy, bro, but it's been fire. And then Juju made a headline. Yeah, like I said, bro. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on this weekend, man. So yeah. But other than that, though, man, can't complain.
Yeah, now we're here.
Yeah.
Talking some ball.
So, with that being the case, man, let's get after it because we do got plenty that we're going to discuss today. So, with that being the case, go ahead and drop it in the comment section where you are tuning in from. And in that way, we give those big boy shout outs to start today's show. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe. Now, Deke, I got to make sure that we don't shout out for too long because it was brought to my attention that we spend too much time doing the shout out sometimes. Okay. Just want to throw that out there. That's what I see. Okay.
All right. I'll keep it short winded then.
That's what they saying, bro. That's what they said. I don't know though. I don't really believe, but that's what they said. They say, y'all shout out for so long, man.
X Concepts, Claridge, PA. Elbel Bumblebee jersey secured finally. Bring Elbel back to the Berg. I wonder if that's the same one that he initially bought because he got gypped on that one a couple weeks ago. He bought it and the seller closed the listing or he never shipped it. It was something like that. There was some controversy.
I do remember.
I wonder if it's the same one. Mike Hood from the 614 Columbus.
Shout out to Columbus one time for
Lee Govan from the 214, the Dirty D.
I like it. Shout out to
Craig Ellis from the 717 Lancaster, PA.
Real quick, little transition, real quick. All right, I think we back down, D. We back. Had a little internet situation going on, man. All right, it's like that sometimes. You have to every. Now we all the way back straight. We go for the rest of the day, D. All right, my bad about that one. Sometimes sometimes players, you know what I'm saying? Let me get back in the bag, bro. All right, there. Blame it on the weather.
Lifted ones tuning in from the forklift at my job. A weak-ass job. I'm grateful, though.
respect to you and your job, and make that money. Don't let it make you, baby. You know what time we on, man.
By the way, the Kings versus the refs in the play-in game.
Oh my gosh! Don't be starting that
Wish
light the
us
beam.
luck.
Don't be
Light the
starting
beam.
none of that light the beam. Don't start none of that because we coming to see you. Just know if you get out of that, we coming to see you. I don't care what y'all say. It makes 0 sense for the Lakers to beat the Pelicans. I don't care what y'all say.
What?
You know what time we on.
No way.
What do you mean? No way. You don't know the scenario, bro.
Let's hear it.
It makes perfect sense. So
For the Pelicans to beat the Lakers.
no, so check it out. So the Lakers have washed the Pelicans. They just beat them by 30 yesterday, right? Bron went stupid out there, triple W. You know how he do. Every time they play the Pelicans, they wash them. So that's not an issue. They'll blow the Pelicans out. Problem is this: the Nuggets are the only team that the Lakers don't match up well with, and they bumtailed didn't get the 1 seed. They messed around and got the 2 seed. So Lakers beat the Pelicans. Lakers are the 8 seed. They go play. They they become the 7, and they would play the Nuggets in the first round.
Okay.
If they lose the first play-in game, they play the winner of Golden State Sacramento. Win that, they get to go today on OKC, who they match up 1,000% better with, and they probably watch them. Folks.
OKC. OKC's the 1 seed.
Exactly,
Really?
bro. Yes.
What happened to the T-Wolves?
T-Wolves, I think, are the 2 seed, bro. Oh, yeah, bro.
Wait, so the Nuggets are the 3 seed?
No, excuse me. I said that backwards. It should be Nuggets 2, T-Wolves 3,
Okay.
right at the end of it. Yeah, because the Nuggets beat the Wolves yesterday. They all had their games yesterday, too. Yeah, bro. Craziness right now. So I'm over here like, yep, I don't mind. Let's go ahead. AD, your back a little iffy because he went out with a back at the
But if they win, they're in.
Yeah,
The first game, right?
Yeah, they win, they're in. You lose, you got a chance to play there, and you get the way better matchup, though. So I'm over here like, AD, go ahead, rush your back. Bron, you know how you do. And then after that, we get to go back to L.A. for this play-in, and then from there, we want that 1 seed. We're going to holler at the 1 seed. We feel we go right at the head of this day, man. We don't want to work our way up out the back, though. No. Go to the front. We want to go take on the best team in the Western Conference, bro. All right? And that's OKC. So we're going to do whatever it takes to go play OKC. That's what we finna do. Because we ain't scared of nothing. But we want to go take the bet. We want to go chop the head off.
Outside of the Nuggets, it seems.
Well, because they in the middle. We want to go to the head of the snake. We try to go to the head of the snake, Deke. All right? We going to the head of the snake. So if that means we got to light the beam and chop the beam off, we're going to do that. If we got to go up there to Oakland and take them Warriors, chop their head off, we're going to do all of that. But we want to go holler at OKC. They say they got the MVP up there, SGA. You feel me? So
I was hearing some Luka buzz.
Yeah, Luka's cool, but it's going to be SGA, bro.
For MVP?
Yeah.
I thought it was between Luka and Jokic.
Nah, man, it's SGA, bro.
He's winning.
Yeah, he should win this day, bro. But we want to go see that. That's what we want to go see. We want to go see what the MVP look like, bro. And then after that, let Luka go play. Luka could go get the Nuggets. Yeah, let Luka go holler at that. I like Luka in the matchup too. But send that over there. Yeah. But that's the scenario. So that is ultimately why we are not tripping on the Pelicans. We want the Pelicans to take care of business.
David Decker saying don't sleep on the Thunder.
Oh, we not. We definitely not. Trust me, all these teams are good. That's the problem. But in terms of the matchup, it is one distinct matchup that does not work for the Lakers. And that's the Nuggets.
You sure you want to play with fire, though? Lose one on purpose?
Well, this is the thing, man. What's the difference between you losing in the first round, getting swept, or losing in 7 games to the Nuggets in the first round versus you try to this backdoor way? If you lose either way, right? But we said
you
that
say
we
they got
nice
no
enough.
chance against the Nuggets.
It's not that they have no chance. We're saying in a 7-game series, bro, I don't see that happening, bro. I don't. But I've been told you that, though. I want the Mavs to go play the Nuggets because the Mavs will beat the Nuggets, bro. The Mavs will definitely do that. It's the matchup. And the Lakers can beat the Mavs. It's the weirdo matchups, bro. But I'm over here for certain. I'm like, yo, I've seen this Nuggets-Lakers game too many times now.
Give me the Lakers beat the Warriors. I think they beat the Kings in a 1 game.
They
beat
beat
the Warriors.
When I tell you, you look at
Just
them
a 1
this year,
game. I bet you they'd be favored. But
Yeah.
again, just playing with fire. All it takes is 1 game. Steph to go for 40 plus.
You know we've seen this before, though, right?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been paying that much attention to the NBA.
They've had the
this year.
1 game playing versus the Warriors before with Steph and the boys, man. They've done this. The Lakers the past 3 years, they done won it all through the play-in. They didn't win the NBA championship out the bubble in the play-in. They went to the Western Conference Finals last year out the play-in. They not tripping, bro. They know how to work this play-in, bro. But it's the matchup. If you get the wrong matchup, bro, it's It could throw off everything. So I'm just over here like, let's get that way. You say it however you need to say it, phrase however you want to phrase it. We're just saying we want to take the number 1 seed. We want to face the best team in the Western Conference. It just sounds better that way. Yeah.
All right, we got a few more here. I'll shout out.
Hey, lifted ones. I see you bringing it up. Do you how comfortable you feel though? How good you feel about it though? You don't feel that good about it.
Thomas Dowdy tuning in from the 423 Unicoi, Tennessee. Let's get this draft victory and hope the best for our Penguins.
Big facts. How we looking?
I mean,
Uh-oh.
they blew their chance.
Oh no, what happened?
Saturday night.
I missed it.
Yeah, they
I
sucked.
told you I was
They're
on
terrible.
UFC Saturday night. Yeah, I was
They were
tapped in, man.
Absolutely outclassed. Outclassed. They were terrible. But Bruins are, I think, one of the best teams in the NHL right now. We lost, was it 6-3, 5-3, something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, they needed to win that one and these last two to
lock
control
it
their
up.
destiny.
Yeah.
Whereas now they're still in it. They're only a point out, but
Who we need help from?
you just need one. Yeah, you need a bunch of these other teams to lose.
Yeah.
We need to win out, and we need some luck going our way, essentially. I don't know how likely
Stranger
it
things
is.
have happened though.
Yeah, I don't know how
Stranger things have
likely
happened.
it is, but yeah, that's where they're at right now. That's how they've been playing all year, though.
Well, let's just hope for the best.
Look good, then blow
Let's
it.
hope for the best. Let's hope for the best because there was a time where we were writing the eulogy, and then they got hot. So let's not write the eulogy. Let's let it play out. Same with the Buccos. Shout out to the Buccos.
Yeah, they're doing good.
Yeah.
They're keeping it going.
Shout out to the Buccos.
I think they're
and your boy
11-5 now.
and your boy Bednar back good. Yeah. He was back pitching good.
Yeah, we need them to.
I started to see you the vibe. I was like, yo, man, you see it right? Yeah. Look good out there, bro.
Yeah, good. We need them to. Wendy Johnson from the 562, Long Beach, California. UFC was fire, and the Lakers better
Let's
win
go.
the play-in.
Let's go.
Sounds like she wants to win this first game.
Well, because it's the thing, man. Either way, they're going to get in. I just say it's pick your poison. If you want to face the Nuggets, cool. It is what it is. If you want to go this route where, yeah, you're going to take a little bit extra route, but you're ultimately going to end up with a better matchup, go that route. But I don't think you're wrong either way because what's the difference if you lose in the first round of the playoffs and you're out, or if you lose trying to backdoor your way into it through the play and you're out? You're still out after the first. And for LeBron, we don't care
I'm just
about
hard-pressed
first round.
to believe that LeBron or any of these guys on the Lakers are just waving the white flag on the Nuggets, though.
I mean, you can have the pride that you want to have. That's fine.
I'm just hard-pressed to believe that.
Hey, like I said, baby, if we talking about what's most effective or versus pride, those are two different conversations. If it's a pride ego thing, then sure, man, holler at the Nuggets, man. Give it how you live. It is what it is. If you want to be the best and you trying to chase something, all right, man, you know what the alternative is, man.
I'm not saying it's not something as like a fan or, I don't know, just even like the organization, those that essentially aren't playing the game are like, I'm not saying that you're not thinking about that or just being like, yeah, this is what we think is ultimately better for the squad. This is the easier path to get to the NBA Finals. But like the actual players,
it's never easier. We're just saying, bro.
Technically, it is. If you don't want to play the Nuggets, then
you're gonna have to play the Nuggets. No. We're just saying you don't want to play them when AD is coming off of this back situation and it's still early, like I told you last week, and you was like,
Luka had a chance to beat them though.
Yeah, Luka, go see them. That's what we saying. Luka,
so
go.
You might not have to if Luka can beat them.
Well, then it is what it is. But right now, what is the sense outside of pride and ego that is telling you, oh yeah, go out there with AD with the back?
I think it's just winning basketball games, though. I mean,
fair enough.
Am I wrong? Like,
No, you're wrong.
Just win the game that's in front of you.
Like I said, it's so simple, it's so cool. And then if it doesn't happen, what is the criticism? Oh man, y'all got beat by the Nuggets. And then if Golden State goes up there and beats OKC, which we know could definitely happen, now you sit here like, well, must be nice. That's all I'm saying. And at the end, ain't nobody about to be hollering about, oh, they had a better matchup. They gonna say they went further than this team right here. We know that's how it goes when they talking basketball, when we talking sports. Who's going the furthest? We don't care about an injury out there. We don't care about a bad matchup out there. We've proven that numerous times. NBA Finals first go around 15. Kyrie gets hurt. You out there with Dellavedova, right? No Kevin Love. It's like, yo, no one cares. You are what you are.
I'm not talking about fan reaction or media reaction to what the Lakers do. I'm just, again, I'm hard pressed to believe that LeBron or AD is waving the white flag on the Nuggets and trying to scheme away in the play-in to get around them.
You call it waving the white flag. That's fine. They call the strategy.
Are they going to do it? Like, do you know for a fact that they're doing it?
Well, we're going to find out. The situation just became official last night. So it's a lot of talk going on around it. AD back went out last night. So it's a lot of talk around it. Now, AD said he's going to play. We know how that goes at times, though. So once again, you could go out there and we can have this mindset. AD, go out there, play for 40 minutes, whatever years with your back, it is what it is. Or you can say, AD, man, go ahead and rest that thing for a little bit, baby, all right? Just rest for the day. We'll see what happens. Now, the Lakers still beat him, though. But that's the convo, baby. That is the convo.
All right, last one. Chris G. from the 713, Houston, Texas. Happy birthday to my wife, Sydney.
Shout out to your wife, Sydney, man. Happy birthday. One time for the culture and more life. More life.
Manny, you want to shout out?
No, we good, man, because I was about to say it's already 26 minutes into this thing, so we're going to roll right up, and yeah, we're going to get out there. But Quan Summer, he definitely knows. It's about the matchups, man, and Steelers Road Warrior says, yeah, his back and his hip, and he had an eye. Talking about AD's list of, yeah, who's supposed to be battling Jokic. Yeah. Nah, bro. Nah, sit, AD, go get better. Yeah, light skin Jesus. AD, a.k.a. street clothes. You're absolutely right. He already setting it up. The fix is this. Stop playing, AD. Stop it.
We got AJ Martinez gifting a Moats membership to Joseph Donovan.
Shout out to Joseph Donovan, man. One time for the culture, man. And AJ Martinez continuing to be a rock star of life. We definitely appreciate you. But welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
AJ Martinez says, shout out Michelle. Have a nice day. I'm thinking of you. Blessings to all. Deke, tell me what we get in round one. School consumes my life. I haven't kept up. Right now, I think it's got to be Jackson Powers Johnson. We still don't have a center. And we had some type of pre-draft visit with him recently. So that checked one of the boxes for the qualifications for the Steelers to draft him in the first round. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm saying.
I like it. Hey, man, shout out to Michelle, though, man. Make sure she have a nice day. And shout out to you, man. Taking care of business, in the classroom and outside the classroom, man. Salute you, AJ.
Tito Good Vibes gifted a Moats membership to Tom Jade.
Shout out to Tito, the good vibes, always rocking with me, man. Definitely appreciate you from the heart. And Tom Jade, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Fish Momentum says, happy Monday and tax day. Hashtag Mr. Jack Myers Jr.
Shout out. Yeah, it is tax day. Everybody do their taxes, man. Everybody take care of their taxes. Take care of your taxes. If y'all ain't take care of them, take care of them, man. We don't want nobody going to jail for the taxes.
Right. Fish Momentum also asks, Most and Deke, how are you both? I'm good.
Man, I'm rocking out, man. Staying in my groove, positivity, keeping the mind flowing the right way. So, yeah, man, can't complain.
Young Papi Benito says, shout out to Fat Pappy.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Fat Pappy, baby.
If you didn't know, that is my band.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow us on Instagram at Fat Pappy Official. We got an original song coming out soon.
Talk your talk.
I play the drums.
You say you're on the gram?
It's not ready yet, but yeah, that's the Instagram.
Let's go.
Handle, yeah, at Fat Pappy Official.
Let's go.
You can follow the journey.
Tap it.
I'm trying to make an album here soon, and this first song we recorded on Thursday is the first step in that process.
How was it?
The
process was good? It was good?
Awesome. It's not completely done yet, but hopefully it's done within the next couple weeks.
Let's ride.
It was awesome. Yeah, really, really cool. Sounds good so far.
Let's get it.
Fish Momentum says, shout out to this amazing chat. Hashtag, or just #1 podcast, he says.
Oh, man. Appreciate you, man, from the heart, man. All of us in here rocking out together, man, keeping it vibed up, man.
Fish Momentum on a heater today, a vintage Official Momentum day, I'd say.
Big facts.
Says Ambition Live at Rivers this Friday. Hashtag Radio Tokyo.
Radio Tokyo, one time for the culture.
Steel Nation on Fire says some Vikings fans are saying that Harrison Smith is better than Troy Polamalu.
At what? I didn't even know that was, but they say he's better than him, man.
Yeah, they're idiots.
Maybe they say he's taller than him, better than him in height. Yeah.
Yeah, they're stupid. Fish Momentum says Sierra and Russ with Troy Kiesel and DeMar.
Let's go. Where at? That's a heck
They
of
were
a
at
combo.
the Penguin game on Saturday
Word?
night. Yeah.
Let's go.
Penguin game was prime time, too. That was on ABC.
Let's go. No, that's fire. That's a heck of a group. You got to be with TP, Baby Jesus, one time, and you got to be with Big Diesel, a.k.a. Kiesel, a.k.a. 99, and DeMar. Come on, man.
Yeah, he was out there.
We don't love DeMar, baby. Come on, man. Do it for 3. One time for the culture. Sierra Russ, man. Look at that. That's love right there, baby. That's love.
I'm about 95% sure because I did see a picture of that crew right there. I'm about 90% sure.
I'm nervous, Deke. Don't get us in trouble,
No,
Deke.
no. There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Russ was wearing a Steelers shirt. I'm like 90% sure. I don't think he's
on brand. He's
yeah, I don't
it.
think he's not worn a Steelers shirt in any of these
like
pictures that are being thrown out there. It's just
even
Steelers
at the NBA, the March Madness game, he had the Dago Steelers stuff on.
Yeah.
You're right. He been decked.
So he was at a
Every
Penguins game, but
video
was
he's
wearing
decked out in
Steeler gear,
Steelers.
which is
You're
fine. Whatever. Pittsburgh's Pittsburgh, but
I
it's
like
just
it.
funny. I don't think he's taking a Steelers shirt off yet.
I like it, bro. He's like, yo, this is my new brand. This is my new me. He's like, everybody know what time we are. I like that.
I'm 95% sure. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's
but
dope.
I think he was wearing a Steelers shirt.
That's dope. Let's see how long that lasts. Because usually it's like, yo, that's like that. You first get it, and it's like new to you, and then you're like, bro, don't wear the logos around us. Take the logos off. Just wear normal clothes. All right. Shout out to Russ though, bro. I like Russ.
Fish Momentum says draft party April 27th at Heinz Field. Hashtag
Let's
TG.
go. Let's go.
Also says thank you for everything. Hashtag Moats and Deke podcast.
Nah, man, we appreciate you, Official Momentum. You already know that, man, because you've been around for the journey as well. Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Mike Hood, what's up, Moats and Deke and the fam? What do you make of the Ayuk chatter and his Instagram post?
Didn't he do he did the Deontay, right? Did the unfollow,
I
the
didn't see
scrubbing?
his Instagram post, but I saw certain Twitter accounts out there reporting that Ayuk requested a trade and the Steelers are heavily in the mix.
No.
And then, was it Sunday? Yeah, yesterday. Then Ayuk's
He's
agent
going to
said
play for him or something like that, right?
those sources were wrong.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. Then, yep, it was like, oh, he's requested a trade. He unfollowed him.
I think
scrubbed all
you
the
know what?
stuff,
I'll
and
say
then
this. I
after
think
that,
where
yeah.
there's smoke, there's fire. I think there is something going on right now. And
We know what it is. He wants his contract.
he wants his
Yeah.
contract. I don't think he's happy with the 49ers. Steelers did show interest, a month ago? I think that was like legitimate reported, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that interest has gone away. And if things aren't going well with the Niners and Ayuk, I'm sure they're open to calls. They just don't want it out there like how some of these Twitter accounts were reporting it, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something going on.
I do too. We know that there is a foundation for them to be disgruntled. We know there's a foundation for it to be mutual interest between Brandon Ayuk and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Big sticker part is just what the Niners are willing to accept for departing with their services, man. I know Omar going to try to strong arm, though. That's why I do trust Omar on that one.
Yeah. I think there were some T. Higgins reports, too.
I missed the T. Higgins one. What did they talk about with him?
I think it was Phil Pony. He said Steelers have had internal conversations on trying to get Higgins.
I like it.
But they think it would be tough because we'd be trading with an AFC North rival.
Mm-hmm.
Something might happen before the draft. We even talked about that last week.
It's been chatter. That's definitely the chatter. That it's supposed to be something happening.
Ayuk or Higgins?
That's what they saying, man. Something. It's supposed to be big. That's what they say.
I'm not opposed.
What your boy say? Locking for right? You just said what?
Yeah.
He he heard something big was supposed to be happening before the draft,
Yeah.
and not no small regular sign of something big. That's what they saying. That's word on the street, D.
I'm not opposed to Higgins or Ayuk, obviously. The question with both of them is just going to come down to the cost to get them and how much we pay them, how much we give them for a long-term extension. That's going to be the question to give like a definitive grade on whatever move happens. You add an Ayuk or a Higgins, at least for this year, it's a big-time upgrade,
Bro,
right?
We loving it this year.
Yeah. If you want to get into the nuances and logistics of it, we need to still figure out what it takes to get them and then how long the deal is and
D. Who's
how
better to you
expensive
though?
the deal is.
Who's better to you? T. Higgins or Ayuk?
I like them both, man. I can make a case for either or with the Steelers.
Who do you
Higgins,
want?
Higgins, I want Ayuk, actually.
Okay.
I want
And
Ayuk
why?
here. Because of his blocking. And I think everything he did with the 49ers would translate perfectly here to be a compliment to George Pickens.
Okay.
I think Higgins, throughout his career, has probably stood up better on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ayuk just really hasn't had that opportunity. Because there's been times where Jamar Chase has gotten hurt.
Yeah.
Higgins has stepped up. Higgins in his rookie year had to be the solo
Higgins
receiver
has
out there.
shown multiple times that he could be a 1.
Yeah.
Whereas with Ayuk, he's had a Debo, he's had a Kittle, he's had even McCaffrey, CMC, excuse me, as well out there.
Yeah. So I'm good with either or.
No.
I think Ayuk would fit with Pickens better in this offense.
Yeah.
He'd just be a better version of Deontay. More physical version of
Yeah.
Deontay. Better deep threat than Deontay.
Yeah.
Better blocker. All that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You like Higgins, though, right?
I do. But more so because of what you were kind of referencing. I've seen him have to stand alone more. But I do also agree that Ayuk fits our system of what we would be trying to do. And with the pieces we currently have, he does fit better. So that's why I'm kind of like back and forth with, yes, it's a better fit, but I think that I like his game more. I think that he's more explosive. But the problem also I would say is I think Ayuk has the better hands though, bro. I just think I like Higgins' athleticism, but I think Ayuk catches the ball better to me than with T. Higgins. I've seen T have some ones where he's just like, hey, dude, like, for you to go ahead and be that tier, that type of check that's about to be coming your way, I want to see more of those catches consistently.
Need more hands catches.
Yeah. You've seen what he look like. Sometimes it looks just a little uncomfortable.
Martavis-ish.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's like we never said that Tay couldn't catch, but at the same time, Tay couldn't catch like AB. Tay don't catch like Juju. But Tay, if we said who's the better player, I'm like, bro, if it's a one game, let me get Tay because I know Tay can go just stupid out there. But Juju gonna block better, gonna run better routes, gonna do all the other stuff, gonna catch every single one, got yards out there. You know what I mean? So it's like this is more well rounded. But I like what that can do. That can go to there. But that's the whole T. Higgins deal right now. Like, and that's part of why he is kind of where he's at right now. It's like, yo, you view him as a 1, but is he a franchise 1 or just a wide receiver 1? It's like, where are we at with him? I don't think he's a 2. I think he's past that.
Yep.
But that's kind of how I look at him. Whereas with Ayuk, I just think Ayuk is just a dope player, well-rounded in every fashion. But I don't feel like I'm going to look at Ayuk and say, man, he's the best receiver in the league. I don't think he gets to that. Whereas the style that T. Higgins has is just like, yo, it's just sexier. That's all. But it's definitely not as consistent as I would like if I'm about to be shelling out $24, $23+ million.
Yeah.
Yeah. And both of them dudes is in that price range.
Yeah.
Yeah. Along with having to give up, probably if it's Cincinnati, they ain't going to hold it for a second or first, and we got to pay it. Ayuk, we looking at, who knows right now.
I brought up the Cardinals trading for DeAndre Hopkins, like back, 3-4 years ago. That was a second. Like, a second for Ayuk is fair. If anything, that's compared to what Hopkins was at that time. Hopkins
I would agree.
Was, top 3 in the league.
Yeah.
Like, second is very fair. I think even if we gave him a third and an extra pick for next year or something, that would be fair. But they want a first. They really like Ayuk, and I don't blame them.
Ayuk
is you're trying to get the best value for your player.
Bro. He's a good player, and it's not a lot of guesswork with him. So when you bring him in, it's like like you just said, man, he could block, he could run the routes, he gonna have the effort, he gonna catch the football, like he's tough, got size, like what you get. So for the Niners, they know what they'll be losing in that same breath, though, and I think that's why for them, Debo is a dope player, but Debo and Ayuk are different in terms of just their style of play, in terms of style of players they are, and they complement each other extremely well because one does what the other doesn't do, as high. And that's the part where I'm sure for the Niners, they're looking at that, and that's the internal discussion for them. Because you take Ayuk out of that offense, now you got to figure out, all right, we got to get that guy. Now, could you get him in the draft? Sure. But I haven't watched the Niners to know what other needs that they're addressing, but it's like, I'm sure that's the convo over there.
Yeah.
Cincy, man, I wish, man, if Cincy won the division, I think it would be way easier to get T. Higgins. But because they're in the division, I feel like that's the one where they're going to strong arm us. Because I feel like Ayuk, I don't know. I think he just gets, maybe it's from where I've seen, but I think that he has more buzz around the league in terms of this trade, at least of him being an available person. Whereas T. Higgins, it's been like quiet. I don't be hearing a lot of, oh, T. Higgins linked here, T. Higgins linked there.
Because I don't think we've really heard from T. Higgins and his displeasure with the Bengals thus far.
Right. Whereas with Ayuk, like it's been pretty, at least the past month we've known about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's posted Instagram. He's done little things.
Right.
Yeah. He's done little things to hint at that things aren't going well right now with the Niners.
Yeah. Because that's why I'm just like, man, if Higgins was on that, or if we do a little bit more, like, yeah, maybe that's different. But I feel like that's going to be almost like pulling teeth trying to get that one up off of Cincy. And the other reason I like that one is because I'm weakening them. It's the twofer. I get a dope player, and I'm taking a dope player away from you. Now, draft-wise, you just created another big need for yourself.
Yeah. Van Bradford, if I'm A.J. Brown, I'm back at the table, or trade me. Ain't no way I'm paying my number 2 over 20 per. Jettas and Jamar need 35 per if this what we doing.
You see Devontae Smith?
No.
In Philly, he got an extension. It's like,
I didn't see
4
it.
for 70 or something like that. I think it was, yeah. He got like a big deal, yeah. Yeah.
What's the numbers?
Was it? I want to say it was 4. I think it was 4 for 70. I could be off, but I want to say it was like something like that, bro.
That's less than 20 then, right?
Or maybe
that's
I'm
a
wrong.
steal.
Or no, 3 for 70. 3 for 70.
Okay.
3.
Yeah, 3.
It was an extension, yeah, because he had 1 year still on it.
3-year contract extension.
Mm-hmm.
If we got the numbers, this is the Eagles' official site. Can you
for
post the
70.
numbers, please?
Yeah.
Whoever the hell's making this article.
I did see it. You got the big post up there with no numbers up there.
3 years, 75, so 25.
Yeah, 20. Okay, 25. Yeah. What's AJ making?
I think 25.
But AJ signed his deal 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you tripping on that if you AJ? Sure, but at the same time, bro, it's that's how the circle goes.
There's a natural inflation
goes,
with the salary cap in the NFL.
When you're back up, you'll be able to hop in and get another big check. But does that mean do it right now? If you want to be out of Philly, sure, go for it right now.
I'm not gonna say he had a down year last year, but he
remember him and Jalen Hurts, they started to have that little like weird tension at the end.
No, never mind. He had 1,400 yards.
But it was still at one point last year they said it was like tension. That was why the whole Devontae Smith thing, they were starting to like him more, like favor him more, something like that. Yeah. And that's why they also saying like this move could potentially be a sign for AJ Brown that they're not going to deal with him being disgruntled because he had already started like having little rumblings last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Mano. 3 for 75 with 51 mil guaranteed. I see you, Mano, in the building, man. JW, I see you in the building. X Concepts, J-Dub. Shout out to y'all, Cody Coon. All y'all, man, tapping in with us. We know y'all in here with us, man. Salute. Let's go. And Mike Hood, I know you got up at 5:30 this morning, baby, but no, you can't take a nap. We in the middle of the podcast. Deke, Mike Hood said he tired. He want to take a nap right now. How you going to want to take a nap while me and Deke in here chopping up like this, baby? No. Don't take no nap. Hit the like button. Subscribe, but don't.
Well, at least do that before you take a nap.
Fair enough.
Because you could come back and watch.
This is also true. This is very true. It's very true.
President Nitty, so is Justin Jefferson not an option anymore? What's up, fellas?
Man, first, what's up with you, President Nitty, man? One time for the culture, man. Always love to see you in the building. Justin Jefferson, his number's still going to be the highest. That's the one part that we would all agree upon with any of these options we've talked about. Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson. The reason why the Justin Jefferson thing isn't talked about as much is, number one, that's the one that costs the most out of any of these other options. That's the reason why the T. Higgins convo isn't happening like that. It's the reason why the Ayuk stuff kind of gets hot, gets cold, get hot, gets cold. The price of these dudes, man, that's kind of why I see it at. But we shall see, though, bro. What you think? Do you feel like anybody's off the table from a wide receiver standpoint if we were trying to trade for somebody right now?
No, because we have Omar Khan.
And that's honestly how I feel about it too when we talk Justin Jefferson or any of these dudes, man.
If Jefferson's on the trade block, and it doesn't seem like he is to that extent, but if he is, yeah, you can't rule it out.
Yeah, because Omar has definitely shown that he will not leave a stone unturned, but he's not doing it recklessly either. He is finding ways to get literally the best deal, even though we don't understand how he does it at times. It's like that's what he's been showing, is his new MO. So if the situation presents itself and it makes sense to Omar, do not be surprised by it, baby, because, yeah, he would definitely do that. But I just think that right now that's the furthest away in terms of the ranking of the options because that one going to cost the most.
Van Bradford, if this is what the league wants to do, I will take the 2 RBs and tight ends when the game is won in the trenches. You just need one elite receiver. That's why they are the guy. LOL.
Oh, I'm with you. But as we've seen the past 2 years, sometimes it's not just about winning. It's about the optics of how you win. They want to see it look good. They want to see the points be scored. I mean, granted, we've had multiple variables at place, but just even think about our situation here the past 2 seasons. Double-digit wins, but yet we were in utter disgust with the way that the wins were happening because we weren't scoring enough. It didn't look good enough. Even though we all agree that the main objective every week is to just simply score more than the other team, right? Just win. But that's the only day that, as much as I would love to just have it like that, because, yeah, the game is one of the trenches, and we see it every year. The team that got the best, when you're in them trenches and you got your piece out there, you can make it cook. But we know that that's not how the league operates, man, because they want to see that ball in the air. And the receivers do that, and they do it at a high level, man. So, we're going to have to cut that check on some of these cats, man. Got to.
Yeah, I'm with him from the standpoint that I don't care how we win. If we just want to absolutely load up with tight ends, running backs, and
look like Michigan.
Yeah, get some fullbacks in there. If we want to do that and we're winning games and scoring points consistently, then sure, I'm all for it. But in today's NFL, I do think it is beneficial to be getting the ball in the air.
Yeah.
Not necessarily all the time, or not even most of the time. Like you could
gotta
win
keep
running
it
the ball,
balanced,
but
though,
yeah, you do. You got to keep the balance.
Yeah.
And at this point with the Steelers, we can do this all-in approach and get another really good receiver in the building because of Russ's contract.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields' contract.
Because that's the outlier right now.
Now, who knows how that stuff affects us long term, but just for this upcoming season, if we really feel like we got a chance, we got the quarterback in place, we got the new coordinator here, we got the players on defense, we got the weapons on offense, like, you want to have multiple cards to play out there.
Yeah.
You want to be versatile. You want to be able to keep the defense off balance. Like, the Chiefs, they'll run the ball. Like, Mahomes over the last couple of years have been running the ball.
They're running a lot.
But with Mahomes, obviously he's capable of putting the ball in the air at a very, very good clip. But those receivers stepped up. That's the other thing. Like, no one expected
they got more production
those receivers to step up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to tell me the receivers that we have right now, like Van Jefferson, Quez Watkins, and all these dudes, they can be trusted in the playoffs like the Chiefs receivers were last year, then I'm fine. Yeah, I'm completely fine.
Think about it.
Because it's not about their stats completely or their fantasy numbers throughout the year. It's like, we got Pickens as our number one. Can we rely on you guys to get open in crunch scenarios in the playoffs or late in the seasons like that? Does anyone feel that way about our receivers right now?
Right.
No. So that's why I don't think, like, his point is, I don't know. To me, it's like a mixed bag because, yeah, we don't need an Ayuk. Technically, we don't need to get a second rounder. Right. Like, we could go through the trenches and running game. Yeah. But I'm not feeling great about our receivers essentially, outside of Pickens like that.
You remember the convo last year?
If you can upgrade it, upgrade it.
Yeah, so it's the convo from last year, man. You can operate with these receivers, but the same way we said last year, we had a small margin for error, right? We had to come out here and almost be perfect each and every week, offensively, defensively, and special teams to win. If we go out there with them same type of receiver, or not the same type, but if we go out there with this current group of receivers as is for the duration of the season, they're just going to have to be their best self each and every week. Van Jefferson couldn't have an off game. Quez Watkins couldn't have an off game. Calvin Austin couldn't have an off game. GP couldn't have an off game. None of them could get hurt. Like, everybody would have to, and if somebody did get hurt, the next man had to come in and play his best for the whole year. And it's just like, if those guys had shown a history of doing that, number one, they all would have been drafted a lot higher. And number two, they would all be costing a lot more for them to be on our roster. But they haven't shown that, whether it was collegiately or professionally at this stage or where they currently are. And that's why they are available to us at the cost that we have them in various levels when you're talking about Quez versus Calvin versus Van Jefferson. And even when you throw in GP. So, once again, it's no wrong way to do this. It's all about whoever's in the driver's seat. In this case, Coach T, Omar, and Mr. Rooney. But it's all about, do you trust that personnel to, in this case, exceed expectations, or would you rather go out and spend on the person or players that we've already seen show a history of playing up here, so it's not as much guesswork, so we don't have to worry about if this guy can't develop, or if this guy has a second year slump, or if this guy just doesn't fit the scheme. It's like, yo, we don't want to deal with that type of stuff. Let's get something that we have already seen can be a player regardless of where he's at, regardless of who was his quarterback. Like, he's nice. That's the thought process that I kind of like. But like I said, you can't go wrong either way, though.
Farron Bradford. Wait, I just read his. Thanks for that. Farron Bradford also says, if I'm AJ... No, I just read that, too. President Nitty. No, I read that.
I think it was on Lee Govin. I think that's who he was on, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, saw Warriors versus Mavs live twice. Crazy. Warriors are done.
Ooh. All right. Mavs definitely playing nice right now. The Kyrie, Luka, they finally figured it out, bro. They finally figured it out. They looking good. That's why I'm like, yo, go to Denver. Yeah, send that to Denver.
I heard their defense is actually pretty decent, too.
They found a little groove this past month. So that's why I'm like, send that to Denver. Go to Denver. I like how y'all cooking right now.
So Warriors have no chance, you think?
You got Steph. If you got Steph, you always got a chance. But that is the reality of it right now. It's like but you got Steph. It's kind of like LeBron. It's kind of like Jordan. It's kind of like any of these dudes that we're going to name. If you got one of them ones, I ain't counting them out.
Farron Bradford, let's say the league has a second-round grade on Powers Johnson. What other reasonable prospects y'all taking the first? I like Fuaga, Mims, and Newbin.
If the league has a second-round grade on Powers Johnson, then I'm looking at Graham Barton. And if I don't want to do that, then I'm looking at Cooper DeJean as well, man. And yeah, if I don't like that option, then I'm potentially, I don't know after that. Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at right now, though, man. Yeah, because you said no JPJ. So, yeah. So, I figure if no JPJ, then that means Zach Frazier is further down if that's the second run grade on him. So, yeah. What say you, though, bro?
Well, I guess what he's trying to say is, yeah, the league just in general doesn't have a high evaluation on the centers. And they're all going to be pushed back. Mm-hmm. So, we might be able to get one of those three in the second round, Barton, JPJ, or Frazier.
Have you seen some of the issues, though, in terms of waiting to 51 to do that, though?
No, I agree. I'm guessing what he's saying in this comment is just like, we can get a like one of those centers, one of those interior linemen in the second round.
Yeah, because the way that it looks right now, like I was going back and looking at the draft a little bit more this weekend, man.
I don't think it's risky.
Fine.
It's a little risky.
First round, we're not tripping. It's the second round because a lot of the teams that need centers will already have addressed their first need in the first round, and the majority of them pick before we ever get a chance to pick in that second round. So that's the whole convo of, does any of them dudes even make it past 45?
Yeah.
And that is legitimate. So that's the part where it's like, if you don't do it in the first, if you sit at 51, you could legit be stuck with.
I 100% agree with that. I 100%.
Now you over here trying to draft a Van Pred at 51 because the other three are gone. That's my only, like when I went back and looked, I was like, God, dog, because it is definitely multiple teams in that second round at the beginning of it that are going to be looking
at that. I guess that's the reason you brought up Barton. Then, you take one of the other centers.
Because I'm like, I feel like I have to get one, man. Yeah.
I could care less. But I didn't know if he meant JPJ is the top center, and if he's valued in the second, then we'll be able to get one of those guys in the second round. I thought essentially what he was asking is, what other prospects do you like outside of center in the first round?
Oh, no, respected that then, yeah.
But he did just specifically say JPJ.
I feel like we both took it differently. I took it well, you took it that way.
Yeah, but
because I'm like, yo, way better now.
You're right, though. You're right. If it's not JPJ for whatever reason, take one of the other centers. I don't care. Get a center.
I'm just like, bro, I don't want to be sitting at 51.
And I don't care what the league thinks about JPJ. If we got a first round draft pick on him, take him in the first.
That's my thing, bro. I'm like, bro, they could think they smart. That's cool. We know what we need. We know who we want. If that's the guy, go get the guy. Because I read into this thought process, man. We was talking about the different mocks. Obviously, we're going to get into a mock in a little bit. But going back to the Artie Burns draft. And how it was like, we wanted this player. We wanted William Jackson. William Jackson gets took. And now it's like, okay, we could sit here and just draft whatever player we think is the most talented from the group, or we did what we did, which was, we said we need a corner and we don't care, and we went and got Artie, right? My thing is, I don't think that that's our scenario in the first round this year, but I feel like if we wait till 51, I feel like that's going to mess around and be our scenario again, man.
Yeah.
Where we're going to be just kind of like, well, yeah, we know we wanted one of them. We waited, and now we just got to take whatever is available. I don't think we want to do that, man. Especially at 51.
Who could we have drafted that? So William Jackson was off the table, obviously. We were interested in him.
Pull up.
I'm looking at it right now.
Give me some of the names. Give me some of the names.
Xavier Howard went in the second round.
Oh, God. Dang.
That's going to hurt.
All right. Hold on. Okay, can we redo this? All right, rewind the Xavier Howard. You haven't said his name. Everything you just said, you're going to redo that in 10 seconds, all right? With all due respect to my dog, Artie, you know it's all love, baby. Don't ever think that we taking shots. I'm just throwing it out there the front end, but we just got to do this for the exercise, all right? Just for the conversation. But you know you my dog. You came my favorite lock me because all y'all my favorites. You know that. But you got me with the Adidas drip. You got me with the Miami stuff, all right? The you. I just need that's the with all due respect. I do it in the front. All right. Now what you said? Who was available to us, bro, that we could have drafted in that draft, man?
Yeah, Xavier Howard went second round, pick 38. Next cornerback taken after Artie Burns.
Oh, God. You someone the X, man. The one down in Miami. The MIAO, the 305.
James Bradbury also went in the second round.
Oh, not the Bradbury. What's the
Pick
Bradbury?
62.
The one we was just talking about trying to get last year? That one?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Kendall Fuller went in the third round.
God, dog. Kendall could ball, too. He could ball.
Yeah, those are the only three.
Respect.
That are notable.
Respect. But Artie did cook. He did have he had a start.
His
start was
awesome.
clean. His start was clean. I'd never not knocking that one. Not knocking that one. His first year was fire.
Damn, that's tough.
That hurt. When you named them corners, you said Xavier. I'm like, why is that got to be
what
the
was
next
Kevin
one that you
Colbert
named,
doing?
bro? All right, who was BPA though in that? Like, just give me the next 5 guys that went off the board.
Just in general?
We
did need a corner, though.
We did need a corner. This is true.
Okay, hold on.
But just in general, who was the 5 pieces right?
After.
Yeah, just give me the 5.
Paxton Lynch.
He ended up coming back to us anyway. We ain't tripping on that. Yeah.
Kenny Clark.
Oh, okay. All right. We ain't tripping.
Joshua Garrett.
All right. We're not tripping.
Robert Nkemdiche.
Oh,
Arizona.
Nkemdiche. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was with, bro. He's another one that should have been a dog. Oh, my God. He couldn't get out his own way, bro. He was like their version of Tuit. Like out in AZ, when I get out there, it's like, yo, he's the guy that's like crazy talented, big athlete, high pedigree, but just couldn't get out his own way with it, bro. He was fire though, bro. In terms of athleticism, yeah.
Vernon Butler, defensive tackle for Carolina, and Jermaine Ifedi, guard for Seattle.
Yeah, bro. So honestly, man, are we like?
And then second rounders, some of them were good. Emmanuel Ogba, Jalen Smith. Hunter Henry, Miles Jack,
but then
Chris Jones.
Artie was the track speed though. He was like supposed to be like super fast. That was the convo with him though. Because I'm thinking of some of these other names. I'm like, yeah, throughout their career they might have aged better, but I don't feel like they were as.
We needed a corner. Too. We needed a corner. It's just that Xavier Howard was the next corner taken.
Yeah,
and James Bradbury was also taken in that second round.
Yeah, and it definitely kind of hurts when you say it like that. Yeah.
Bummer.
But shout out to my dog, though, Artie, man. Like I said, this was not a bash Artie segment. This was just acknowledging the people that were available after we took Artie. Y'all already know Artie, my dude, though, bro. I'm gonna throw my U clothes on tomorrow, bro. Well, I can't. I got an event tomorrow, but I'm gonna throw my U stuff on one of these days, just for you.
Sean McCartney, I know many are not happy with taking center in the first, but I've also seen an idea of trading up in the second to get one of those top 3 guys. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you get one of those top 3 guys, I don't care how or when you do it, just make sure you do it.
Just get them. Because if we have, we're going to feel great and we'll be happy. If we don't, well, we've seen what the offense line can be when the center position isn't varsity consistently.
Tyler Quattro, do you think GP would be mad if we paid Ayuk big money?
I think there is a possibility that he could feel some type of way. Yeah, Deontay Johnson got 18. It's like, all right, you homegrown. It's different. It's like you from outside the family. Yeah, you're paid after I was here. Deontay was paid before here. You know what I mean? It was like this is already here. This is out of your control. We've seen you for 2 years now, and now we going out here to go pay somebody $20+ million. And go with a draft pick. What does that say to GP? But at the same time, GP could look at it as, man, they just get me another weapon. This dude's going to help me out, because if he's getting attention, then that means I can cook. And that could be just as, appeasing to GP. But he also could look at it as, bro, if you're going to be spending that type of money, go spend it on something else. Like, if you're going to save that for me, I'm ready to get paid next year. Pay me that. But we shall see, though.
Well, I think it could be a test for the Steelers to see how Pickens' reaction is. Because if he reacts poorly, it's like, all right, maybe this guy really isn't our long-term solution.
Yeah.
Our long-term answer. If he's going to act this way about us upgrading the team, and you're right, even helping him out with coverage and stuff like that, then this might only be a rookie contract type of thing.
Because I was like, you can definitely make it a negative if you're a GP. You can look at it and be offended by it. You can look at it and say, man, they don't respect me. They don't think that I am able to be a franchise caliber receiver. Because if you think that I'm that, you don't go and trade for a receiver that costs $20 million that's trying to prove that he could be a franchise wide receiver. You go find a definitive number 2. You go sign Tyler Boyd. You go trade for somebody like that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go and spend that type of money if I'm that guy. That'd be like when AB was here, we go out there and sign Odell. Or we go out there and sign Julio. AB's like, hey, bro, you got your $100 million man, right? Why you need 2 of us? We got a salary cap here, so it's just not cost efficient. We can't do that. But for the Steelers, I could definitely understand them looking at it and saying to themselves, one is a little bit of, we think it can get to that. The other one is, we've just seen more production from it. But that's the whole, are you going to operate with the trust of your heart, your gut on GP? Or do you take the business approach and say, well, we've already seen this. We know for a fact this works. Cut the check, and now we got this in here with this. And we have some type of buffer if this doesn't reach what we think it's capable of reaching.
Yeah, I think if you're the Steelers, you're trying to improve your team. It could be spend as smart business, and if Pickens is upset with that, it almost goes back to the Pickett stuff too. Like, you can't be above the team.
Yeah,
we got a window here with Russ in the contract.
Come on, man.
If we got an opportunity to bring in Ayuk, and it's not going to really hurt our chances this year or make our roster worse in other areas this year, we can afford to do it. Like, yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Right, I think it's less about, at least bringing in Ayuk right now, I think it would be less about like what Pickens means to this franchise long term. I think it would just be more about this year.
We
could talk about Pickens extension stuff. We'll talk about that in 2025. Let's see how this year plays out. But we got a legit chance with a Russell Wilson on a $1 million contract.
Listen,
I think that's how the Steelers are looking at it. So if Pickens gets upset with that, it's like, bro, this is about the team. This isn't about you. You can't be consistently thinking about you all the time.
Yeah. But that's some of the convo.
Yeah, and we've seen Pickens do some of that in his first 2 years here. And that's why the question was brought up. Like, it's like we're legitimately entertaining the question. There's a reason for that.
We always cause and effect, bro. Nothing that we are talking about in this situation has not been warranted. And there's still speculation of, did he actually turn over a new leaf, or was that we were just winning at the end of the season and that was why he became quiet?
And he got the ball.
Right, and he got the ball. Because prior to that, we saw what it looked like it was going to be. So those are very legitimate questions, man.
I literally said trade him.
You weren't the only one. And it was
I gave him one game, though. I said, we'll give him one game with Mason.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, when you show some of that and the production isn't here consistently, these are the conversations that are had. If his production has been here across the board, man, we are like, bro, I don't care about any of that.
Yeah, and the problem is, too, you could talk about quarterback play not lending itself to Pickett's production fully.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we did see him not give the greatest of efforts.
This is true.
And
both things can be true.
Yeah.
Both things could definitely be true, man.
Like some of the blocking stuff, not finishing routes, like
the bad body language, man, on the field, but it's just like, bro, did you just really throw the tip of just
dropped the wide open touchdown in that Titans game
with the lazy feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one where it's like, yo, toe tap that thing, bro. You got 5 yards of space here. Yeah.
Steel Nation on fire. The Vikings fan had pulled up stats between Harrison Smith and Polamalu.
Yeah, shout out to them Vikings fans then, man. If that's what they truly believe in their heart, man, you just gotta pray for them because they can't be right. Something's off. All right, if that's a legitimate conversation at anybody's dinner table,
They probably
barbershop,
pulled up some PFF stats. It's like zone win rate or something like that.
What's it, zone win rate?
Yeah.
That sound about right. Zone win rate, because I've never heard of that before. Sound about right. That's got to be it. That's got to be it, bro.
Yeah, I don't know who
that's
in
gotta
their
be it,
right
bro.
mind that
That's
watches
gotta be it.
football on Sundays would say Harrison Smith is better than Polamalu.
Smith, I'm like, I did not expect. Usually, just get the Ed Reed, you get the Brian Dog. I was like,
Yeah, like Polamalu is considered, I think, top 3 safety of all time.
Well, yeah, you got some Ronnie
At least
Lott,
top 5. Yeah, if
Ronnie
you want to bring in
Lott,
some of
Edie
the older
Reed,
legends. Yeah,
like, but it's like, bro, of our era, TP
it's between
is top
Polamalu
2.
and Reed.
Yeah. B Doc is the third window. He outside waiting in. But them two, it's a 2-man race. Do you want the dude that's a little bit smaller do some of that, or you want the dude that's a little bit thicker do some of that? Like, either way. Yeah.
Chef Buck, Fuaga is criminally underrated on this channel. If he falls to the 15-ish range, I think he's a trade-up target, best run blocker in the draft.
Okay. I ain't tripping on it. Nah, Fuaga's tape is nice, man. That's our thing, bro. Ain't nothing wrong
What,
with
did you
Fuaga.
shit on him or something?
No, I think he's talking about the chat as a whole, bro.
Oh.
Yeah. You know how it go, man. If they put it in the regular comment, you know how they'll. I don't like that one. I'd rather have this guy with him. Yeah, it might be that.
Yeah, Fuaga and
Man.
Latham, I would
So,
like as a pick in the first round.
Seriously.
If you guarantee yourself one of those top 3
Right.
centers.
But if Fuaga or
In the
Latham
second.
is there in that range, go get that. Or if
Then
they're
trade
there
back
at
up in the first, trade up in the second.
Exactly.
Get
Yeah.
the center.
Right. The
And then
question
you're playing
is,
with
are they
house
there?
money rest of the draft.
Yeah. The question is whether you're talking Fuaga or if you're talking Latham. Are they there? And the reason why this is such, up in the air right now is because the quarterback conversation. They said J.J. McCarthy could go Minnesota, he could go to New England. You're like, bro, all right, well, that's pushing people back. All right, if this guy goes to here, that's going to push something else back.
Yeah.
So that's why with Fuaga, with Latham, early on, it was like, bro, they won't go be in our radar. They won't go be available to us per se. But if that is changing, and hopefully it does change, yeah, those are better players at their position than some of these other guys at their positions. And that's another part that, obviously we'll talk about too.
S. Dresden. To sign Ayuk. Package Pickens to the Falcons for Odunze without losing pick 20. No need to trip a contract for Pickens. Odunze, you get on a rookie deal.
Why would the Falcons do that, though?
So we're just trading Pickens for, what's the Falcons pick? Number 8 or 9?
Yeah.
I think we'd have to give him a little something.
Yeah, I'm like, that don't make sense for Atlanta.
We'd have to give him Pickens and a pick probably.
Yeah. Because if you're Atlanta, you're saying, I'm going to take Rome Odunze, and I'm going to have him on a rookie deal for 5 years, and I'm going to be loving life. And I'm going to pair him with Kirk Cousins, who's going to force feed him that ball. Yeah, got Drake London down there, got Kyle Pitts. Yep. Bijan. Well, watch. Atlanta about to win 10 games.
Without losing pick 20. Yeah,
I don't see how that works, bro.
I don't know. Yeah, you'd have to give up an extra pick. You'd have to give up Pickens and maybe like next year's second. And you're right. If you're the Falcons, I think you'd rather have the receiver that you just drafted on a rookie deal versus getting that second. I mean, you do get Pickens. That's what that would probably be the type of deal it would take. But the closer you get to draft, I think the more the teams value their picks because you're that much you're that close to drafting a guy you probably really like and then getting him locked up for 5 years.
Yeah, because I'm sure they're gonna have the discussion of who's the better player. Who do you think has the higher ceiling, Rome Odunze or George Pickens? Because both are elite coming out of college.
Yeah, I mean Pickens. That's the thing with Pickens. He does have some proven productivity right now.
Yeah.
He had a really good year last year. I mean,
he did.
I think he
definitely
should have made the Pro Bowl, at least as an alternate. Yeah.
1,000-yard receiver, man. He definitely stepped up.
Really good. Yeah, he played really good last year. He was solid his rookie year. So that's the thing. I mean, I think these receivers are going to be studs, though. It's consistently proven year in, year out over the last, 4 or 5 years. I'm not saying Odunze is not going to be good, but I think that's at least the one thing Pickens has in his favor. So if this deal was brought to the table, say, 2 months ago, maybe the Falcons would think differently about it just because we're further removed from the draft. If you just say Pickens in a second for your number 8 overall pick or your number 9 overall pick, maybe that sounds better to them then. I still don't even think they would take it, but you might have to give up an extra pick. You might have to, it might have to be like Pickens in a second and a third.
Unless you're trying to send a first rounder with that Pickens, I don't see them just
And then I don't feel that great about doing that either.
Me either.
Yeah, I just don't think it's a good deal. I'm sorry, man. That's Dresden. I don't like the offer.
Yeah, in Atlanta, I'm just like, still don't see why you're doing that trade. Like, nah, I don't get that one, man. Not for them. Like,
I don't like the idea. Why would you
do that for Atlanta? Like, why are we doing that one?
Because after signing Ayuk or trading for Ayuk, you're having him be the number 1. You're still gonna have to get a receiver.
Yeah.
No. We'd be getting Odunze. We'd be getting Odunze. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be Odunze and Ayuk. Yeah. I mean, that'd be a good combo.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd be giving up future picks or potentially even picks in this draft. We still need to get line. Yeah, like, is there a guarantee Odunze next year is better than Pickens? No, I don't think so. No. And I think right now we're a team with the mentality of we're trying to win this year.
Okay.
So I think it'd be more valuable for us to keep Pickens and use some of these picks on linemen because we need offensive linemen.
Yeah. For me, man, I look at it as if you believe that one of these receivers is going to be better than GP, you make the move. If you don't think he's going to be better than GP, you don't make the move. Rome Odunze, I think that's a legitimate convo. The same way if we said Marvin Harrison Jr., it's a legitimate convo. I'm sure if they said Malik Neighbors, it would be a legitimate convo. After that, though, I do think the further we get out of that top 10 range, the convos aren't to that extent anymore where it's like, oh, yeah, is this guy definitely going to be better than GP? Because GP in his own right, if he was healthy coming out of Georgia that final year, not missing as much time as he did recovering from the ACL, he's a first rounder. We know this. So that's the part where when I look at Rome, like Rome is definitely one of them dudes where the convo is a legitimate convo of who do you think would be better. Kind of like when Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and the boys were coming out and we're like, is this guy coming out as a rookie going to be better than Deontay Johnson? And this dude's over here was like, yeah, bro, like he got a chance. And you saw the numbers ended up and it's like, yeah, it was kind of what them first years. It's kind of what this year. So like I said, if you just think that Rome is like that, and you like him and you think that, controlling his rights, you don't necessarily have to deal with seeing any negativity from him like we've already experienced from GP as well. And you don't want to have to worry about if this is going to continue. If he's doing this when he doesn't have any money, what happens when I give him $25 million? Those are legitimate conversations. So that's the part where it's like, man, I could definitely understand why a person would entertain it. But at the same time, I can understand why they would not also.
Yeah, I just don't like the thought of giving up extra picks that we might need to build out the rest of this roster. When you already, if we're having the conversation of who could be better, let's just stick with our guy and then use the picks to build out what this roster needs still without linemen. That's how I feel. Now, Odunze, of course, has the benefit, or any of these receivers coming in have the benefit of having the rookie contract. But, I mean, you're going to have to pay guys anyway at some point. I just think it would be a lot. Yeah, it'd be a lot. I don't think it's something we need to do right now. Unless, and here's always going to be my nuance, or here's always going to be like my out for this type of stuff. If you think Pickens is a cancer in the locker room, then no, just get him out, because that in itself is addition by subtraction.
Yeah, and that's, I think, I don't want to say that should be heavy in the conversation, but I do think that is a part of the discussion, just based on what we've already seen from him. And when you think about what the history has been here with some of the people that have gotten paid, and we've seen how it's kind of played out, we talk about that PTSD element. I'm sure all of that is factored in with this thing. And I think that's why for GP, it's important that he is on his best behavior this go around, because it's hard to commit 20, 25 mil to a dude if you worried about what you just brought up, right? Is he going to be a locker room cancer? Is he going to be a guy that, shows bad body language if he's not getting the ball or if it's not going his way, like we've seen from him before? I'm all for what he's doing right now. We've seen it be quiet, but there are some parts where it's like, yo, there's still some legitimate questions around that. And if those questions aren't what you want to deal with, then yeah, go get one of these dudes. And I get what you're saying too in terms of the receiver element, or not the receiver element, but just the, instead of trading up, go and get the more, the more pieces or more players you can get in terms of just keeping your draft capital. I get that concept as well. But I'm kind of on this thing of, if this is the guy that I think is this type of player, I would take one of them type of guys, then three just, good players. If I can get one of them dudes that I think is, he's up here and that's going to be just a different type of player, then yeah, man, F them picks. I'm going to get that. Because them dudes, man, shoot, I can go find another one of them. How many of that can I find? And that's kind of my mindset. But that's if you view Rome or any of these guys to that extent.
Yeah, that's the problem, because Pickens is very capable of being that guy that you're talking about. Top 5 receiver, perennial Pro Bowl and everything. It's
all pro, that type of dude, man.
Yeah, what's the work that he's putting in these off seasons? How committed is he? And how's he going to react during the season when things aren't going his way? Like, yeah, because we've seen signs that it doesn't go in the right direction with him. I think he's going to be greatly benefited by having Russell Wilson in here, though.
Too, bro.
Having some leadership on this offense, like, that should help him. Yeah, he should be that guy. He definitely should. I mean, that's why we drafted him. That's what we've seen from him these first 2 years. He's definitely capable. Greg Yeager, y'all watch UFC 300?
Well, I was in that thing from 6 o'clock to about midnight. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. And shout out to the big bonuses that was getting paid out, too, man. Dudes made away with it, man. 300K, 600K, 300. It was beautiful. It was beautiful to see the guys get a check, man. But no, dope card. Absolutely fire. Start to finish. Super, super early prelims, regular prelims, and then the daggone main joint, man. Shout out. I was conflicted, though. First fight out, Cody Garbrandt. No love. The homie. Man, Davidson Figueiredo. God, dog, man. I like both of them dudes. Suck to see it go down like that. But here we are.
JT Anderson, 54. Do Powers Johnson's injury red flags concern you?
Me personally, no. I already said, in terms of like injuries, man, it's 100% injury risk. Dudes are going to get hurt. I know if JPJ has some concussion situation, stuff like that, I get it. To me, I'm not concerned about it from him specifically, but I do think it's case by case. I think it's player by player. But for me, personally, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm good. No, I'm not that concerned. No Limit Briss is joining the upper room.
Oh, you said, No Limit Briss. Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I just seen it. Wait, spell that thing B-H. All right, might be a blood or something. Deke. Yeah, he ain't put no C up there, man. All right, gang related today.
Famously amazing TV. What about Ricky Purcell from the Gators? Wide receiver from the Gators.
All right, his name's been coming up more and more in the chat, man. I like him. I ain't tripping on him. I think he's a good player. Definitely help. But we said it's later round, though. Yeah.
They're saying second.
Yeah.
Saying second. Yeah, would prefer him in the third, but if we drafted him in the second, whatever. We need a receiver. Like,
I don't know if I want him in the second.
Farron Bradford, Najee 5-year option. What y'all think the holdup is? We don't have to do it just yet.
We got to what? Next month? When do you got to make the decision?
Yeah, sometime in May.
Yeah.
That's one reason. The second reason is there's...
With all due respect,
I think a legitimate reason if you're the Steelers why you don't pick it up. It's just the position. It's the running back position.
Business is business. That's what he says. It's business, bro.
It is what it is. Yeah. I mean, I think it would be around $6 million. That's the last I saw.
Yeah.
Around $6 million if we pick up the 5th-year option. That's probably fair. That's probably fair for the durability and consistency Najee's given us. But at the same time, if you're the Steelers, you're looking at a Najee going into year 5, paying him $6 million. You're wondering, can we spend this $6 million better?
I think that's also very, very
whether
fair.
It's whether it's getting a cornerback, whether it's getting someone on the O line, and then just picking up a running back in the draft in the 4th round and still having Jalen Warren around here. Like that's You can't tell me wouldn't be a smart move.
Yes, but at the same time, what does that do to the core of your offense? Past 3 years, essentially, Najee has kind of been that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
know?
I think it's a conversation.
Yeah.
I think the consistency that Najee's given to us, the durability, all that stuff, like it shouldn't be taken lightly.
Yeah.
So $6 million for 1 year.
I think for one isn't terrible, right?
No, that's what I mean. You're not talking about 6 or 7 for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think that'd be fair. I don't think Najee would think it's fair.
I would agree, because I was going to say, what's your multi-year plan with Najee then? Because I don't want a multi-year over 5. Really, can I get it for 3 to 4? Because once again, the convo is we can go right back to this draft and get me something. 4 years, cheap labor, run the wheels fall off, reset, do it again. Undrafted if I need to. Get a couple of these dudes. But Najee has been the one-stop shop, so to speak, in terms of the consistency, the durability, the physicality, the in-between the tackles, tough yardage, and just the 1,000-yard rusher.
Only one to do it over the last 3 years.
It's funny you say that, and it doesn't even hit like you would think you're supposed to hit. You know what I mean? Like when we say that,
it's not nothing,
but it should feel like we talking about like a CMC or Saquon. It's like, bro, he the best in the league for the past 3 years. Ain't nobody done this, and it's like we don't necessarily feel.
It feels more like
though.
a Frank Gore type of stat.
Yeah,
it's
just like value.
Yeah, it's like you stuck around, you were healthy, we gave you the ball, and you didn't kill us. It's like one of those type of things. You helped us actually. I'm not gonna diminish it, Najee, like that. Like he did, he helped us, but yeah, to the degree of a top 3 or 5 running back right now. No, he didn't do that, but I think he's in the conversation for being top 10 because of that derby. Like that's something to tip your cap about.
He's a good player, bro.
Yeah.
Like he has his moments where you see the impact, especially late in the year. You see the impact. We know he's a steadying force. It's just the style. It's almost like if you want to play a fast brand of ball, but you got a super slow, like big man that you got to play your offense to. It's like, bro, like this flow is not working for what we're trying to do. And to an extent, when we just talk about today's NFL with the style of play or style of running back that Najee is, it just doesn't look like the type that's going to have this long-term, this is going to be this perfect match. Typically, man, high volume backs like that, they take a lot of shots, they fall off a cliff, man. So far, he's been hanging on, though, man.
I think you want to see how he looks with Russ and this Arthur Smith offense. Problem is you got to make this decision before the year. And, if you don't pick up his 5th-year option, I could see things going south between Najee and the organization.
I could too,
from a relationship standpoint.
Yeah, because
if you want to risk that, fine. If you
him.
don't, that's fine too. Like that's why I think this is like a 50-50 split. Like
I would agree.
I don't think you can go wrong either way.
Bro. Yeah.
If you want to pick it up, okay. I see all the reasons why. If you don't want to pick it up, I see the reasons why as well.
Because I'm over here like, is picking up the option worth him not tripping, him being quiet, is still being that dude that's going to run hard every single time. He's going to take these shots every single time. It's like, if I pick up this option, that at least guarantees me that for this year. If I don't pick up this option, is this another situation that I've just created now? Whether it was how we looked at the Deontay GP at times last year, it's like, are we going to have to deal with this? We already know Najee at one point was a little bit more vocal about his displeasure with everything from an offensive standpoint. But he is a running back. So once again, how much do you value the opinion and the feelings of a running back to where you're willing to commit the 5th-year option, $6 million in this case?
Yeah, and I don't think it's bad. For 1 year, okay.
It
doesn't kill you,
man. I see it both ways.
That doesn't kill you. For 3-4 years, that's a different story. And like I could see if you want to do a happy medium of 2-3, it would probably be a 3-year extension. Yeah. Or you don't do the 5th-year option, you just do a 3-year extension this offseason, and the salary's around 5 or 6, and you have the guarantees front, maybe it's like $10 million guaranteed. Yeah. You do something like that. That could be a happy medium. Again, I don't know how Najee would feel about that because that to him would probably feel like a slight. Yeah. Where you getting more money? That's the other question.
Because Najee has legit things that he could bring up as to why his production isn't better.
Yeah.
And you could say O-line, quarterback, He could say coordinator, right? He got all these different things that he could bring up as well. But I think it still boils down to when we just look at his style and what he is as an athlete. That's the part where you're just like, we don't want to commit long-term money or significant money to that style of player.
Chris Hahn. Trayvon Burks, I think he means Traylon. Traylon Burks is on his way out. What a
Cat in
fourth or
Tennessee,
fifth.
right?
Bring him over. Oh, I'd love that. I liked him
What's
coming
going
out of
on?
Arkansas.
Yeah, he was going on with Traylon. Yeah, he's Tennessee, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let's say, yeah, Traylon was straight, man. What they saying? What's happening?
There's
man?
some blogs connecting us to Burks.
Uh-oh.
Could Burks be traded from the Titans?
Huh.
What coach does not say speaks loudly. All right, this is from Sports Illustrated.
Well, let's get after it, Deke.
This is
Hit that like button if y'all enjoying this show. Don't forget to subscribe. We
This
see
is
it's a
from
chunky
an
amount of y'all in here today too, man. Don't forget to hit
Arkansas
that like
blog,
button.
a Sports Illustrated Arkansas blog. So they're very pro Traylon Burks here.
That's good to know too. Definitely good.
It's a video. Can we just get the quotes?
Come on, bro. Give us the word.
Okay, here it is. Here it is. Traylon's potential is very high. First round pick, we see all the talent, but he's going to get what he earns. That's not that negative of a comment.
That comment is the equivalent of Jerry Jones said the Cowboys are gonna go as far as Dak take him, but that's as far as he could take him. It's like, yo, it's not negative, but it don't really sound reassuring either. It's just like he lukewarm. It's like, yeah, he's gonna get what he gets.
It's not like Burks has lit the world on fire his first 2 years, so I think it's a very fair statement. If Burks is going to be around, he's going to get what he earns. It's not like we're just going to give him the wide receiver 2 spot because we drafted him in the first round. He is very talented, a lot of potential, but he's got to earn it this year.
It's
not a crazy statement. He really didn't. It was almost like a Tomlin statement. Really didn't say anything.
For sure. Like I said, for me, man, I remember him more out of college. I haven't watched. I feel like he's been like banged up though, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's why I feel like he's been like missing time. And then obviously we know the quarterback carousel that they've had too.
Yeah, bad quarterback play down there.
So I just feel like he's had a lot going on, man. But he was asked to be their one after A.J. Brown. And that was the thing.
Then they got Hopkins last year.
Yeah, because he's not fast. That's the one thing with Traylon. He's more, he'll route you. Kind of like a Drake London type. Like, yeah.
I liked him out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
It looked like he had that dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be for trading a 4th round pick, 5th round pick for him.
High on. I remember you talking.
I liked him.
Yeah.
I think he had a good game.
Because he's a dope player. I didn't think he had enough of the juice, though. That was the one thing I remember. Yeah.
He wasn't. I think you're right. I don't think he was extremely fast.
Because I feel like it was him and Drake London. I was like, they both are nice receivers. They're going to route you up. They're going to catch, smooth hand catch, but they're not just like flying. And I kind of like my receivers to be able to fly a little bit, man.
He had 4.55.
Yes.
He had. It felt like when he got the ball, he would do dangerous things in space.
He has that ability.
And if he was 1-on-1 with a cornerback, you could throw it up to him, even though
he's going.
I don't think he's that tall. Yeah, he was
college.
like
He did it though. He definitely did it in college.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah. How tall is he? He looked like 5'11" to me whenever I watched him. He might be. He's like stocky. He's stocky built.
They get almost like the Jamar Chase type, like built almost like running backs at wide receiver.
Maybe makes him look a little shorter.
Yeah. Let's see the official.
6'2". Wow.
Boy, you know they rounding up on that man.
That one's the NFL.com. That's the combine one.
No, they be rounding up on that, but I don't think they round that one up, man. He ain't no 6'2", bro. He's 6'2". He might be 6'2". He looks shorter than that one.
He does
camera,
because
bro.
he's
stocky.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't look. He looks 6 foot. Yeah.
I would love to trade for Traylon Burks if it's true that Titans are trying to get rid of him.
And if we talking 4th and 5th, then yeah, because I'm bringing in high pedigree. It's the same convo that we've been on. Low risk, high reward.
Yeah. At least I feel like he's got higher reward than all the other receivers we got in-house if he could click here.
I would agree. Even though I think Van Jefferson's floor is a lot higher than his.
Absolutely.
Though.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Trey definitely, I think he could push. He could have a chance. Yeah.
Dondre Zell, would it be best to draft the left tackle and leave Broderick at right, even though they say they want to move Broderick over to left?
You know what? That's actually an interesting approach. We haven't really talked about that because of Omar at the combine saying that they wanted to eventually get Broderick back to left. I think if he didn't say that, then I'm with you. I would definitely say draft the best left tackle, and that opens up the full gamut. But because Omar did say that they want to get him back to the left side, that's the reason why I don't think that they would go out and draft another left tackle in the first round that would ultimately hinder Broderick from being able to get back over there. Because if they were going to leave him at right, or if they just felt like they want to keep him at right, I think Omar wouldn't have came out and said that, we want to get him back to the left side. That's what we drafted him for. We did draft him in the first round a year ago to play left tackle, not to play right. Now, have we seen this happen before? Yeah, but it's a slightly different scenario. Penei Sewell going to the Detroit Lions. They already had a tackle out there that's an all-pro, that's a pro bowler, that's paid, and it's been the same dude. So that's part of why Penei Sewell has stayed at right, and then once Decker is gone, then they'll put him over to the left. With us, Dan Moore, we don't look at him at the same level like how Detroit was looking at their left tackle. We like, yo, Dan, we trying to see, can we upgrade that position? So I just don't think that we would essentially upgrade it last year by drafting Broderick. And the only reason Broderick went to right was because of Chooks. And now we're saying, Broderick, man, you're our official right tackle for the duration. We're going to draft another left in the first. I think that's...
Sounds pretty stupid,
yeah,
to be honest.
I don't want to say stupid because that's a little harsh, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. So, yeah, what Deke said.
Yeah. You traded up to draft.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we went and we got the guy that we wanted, we loved. It's like the coach staff loves Broderick. Like, that's the anchor. That's the guy that they want. They drafted him for that left spot.
And we should learn from our mistakes with Kevin Dotson.
That also true.
And I guess you could even throw Kendrick Green into the mix, but I think Kendrick
is an outlier.
Kendrick sabotaged himself as well, because we did move him to guard at times, and it wasn't pretty there either.
Yeah.
Whereas
his best run was fullback. That was his best run, fullback.
But yeah, I mean, we played Kendrick Green out of position coming in here. Like, you got Big Ben literally the day after, not the day after he retired. No. When was this? This was the day after we moved Kendrick Green, I think, to guard or fullback last offseason. Ben said on his podcast, I always said that.
This is the
literally when we drafted Kendrick Green, I was like, I think he's a guard.
Yeah.
But then we put him at center anyway. So we did do a disservice to Kendrick Green a little bit there, but also he was just not good. Yeah. Whereas Kevin Dotson, even at playing left guard out of position, he was solid. He was a starter for us. Now, was there reasons we looked elsewhere? I guess, but we could have went into last year with Dotson starting for us. But you see what he's doing at right guard. He's hitting his full potential at right guard. He's a Pro Bowler at right guard, getting, $15-16 million a year at right guard.
You know another thing
that's his right position. So we got to do the same thing with Broderick Jones. Get him to his right position. You put all this capital into him. Yeah. Trading up in the first round, drafting him in the first round. Get him to left tackle. Don't play this game.
I would also say just one nugget with the Dotson situation. He was getting in the doghouse here. So
I know.
Whatever took place, maybe that's what it needed to be for that light to finally click and him be consistent, along with getting the right tackle as well. Or right guard, I think, is like
we know
both of that.
Him and Tomlin weren't seeing eye to eye on something.
It was like, I don't know what was going on with that, but they definitely, remember, it's like, everyone was like, yo, why are they beefing? What's this? It was something that was going on though, bro. So, yeah.
Yeah, there'd be random reports that Dotson is in the doghouse. Yeah. And actions would back it up. 'Cause we were confused when the reports came out, but then like Tomlin would say stuff like Dotson doesn't have his spotlight.
And we're like, whoa, what?
Him and Green got to duke it out for left guard. What?
And we're like, we just watched this. We know what this is. What are you talking about? Yeah. Yep.
No, there's no reason to have a competition between Kevin Dotson and Kendrick Green for left guard.
We're playing the hot hair. You're like, no, we're not. We're playing that one. That one, coach. I don't care what that one.
Remix, Moats, we still trust you.
Hey.
Side note, center or right tackle in the first?
Let's get it. Hey, bro. Shout out to the fact that you still trust, because I still trust y'all too, all right, bro? Yeah. How'd you feel about it though? We got a little R&B for side A, and then he took us back to scraping that pot side B. Oh, I needed that, because now I could bump it the whole time with wifey, and I'm like, oh, you being romantic because this is R&B. It's future, and then that thing just casually switched to the trap. Oh, Deke. It's the perfect mix is what I needed, bro. He's like our version of Drake. He ain't tripping. But side note, center or right tackle in the first. Unfortunately, I'm still rocking with center right now. But you could talk me into right tackle only if you're guaranteeing that we moving up in that second round. If we don't move up in the second round, I'm with it. But if we not moving up in that second round, I got to go center.
Yep. Steel Nation on fire. I like Johnny Wilson because of his height. I feel like Johnny would be a nice blocker and a nice red zone threat and would be a nice match with Darnell.
I ain't tripping on that. Now, I don't know when. Yeah, when they talk him off of Johnny.
Probably third or fourth. Maybe even high end second. No, I'm good on him. I already said
I don't want to go high.
I get the height with him. I don't know. There's not a wow factor with him for me.
Okay.
He's tall, but he looks clunky out there.
Yeah. The size is the thing, though.
Yeah.
If you could get the big athlete or big speed, you always take that over regular speed or small speed.
Richard Arbiza, you think Future's new R&B album makes Russ a fan? No.
Yo, you gotta stop, man. We're like I said, we don't want this to be confrontational. I personally enjoy listening to Future, and I personally am hoping that Russ is gonna play great, and I'm gonna enjoy watching Russ play. And there will be times where I listen to Future while I watch Russ play, okay? But we don't want it to be tension. They're all in the boat together. They're family, technically. So yeah.
Man.
What?
Family.
Come on, bro.
Man.
Why you doing me like this, Deke? I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I just want to keep the peace because I'm conflicted. I didn't have it on my bingo card that I would have to factor Russ into my life along with my future. You feel me? Like I rocks with this music, bro. But it's like you're my quarterback. You're a part of the blood now, bro. You in the fam, man. Like, yeah, I got to choose the fam over that. But it's just like it's uncomfortable right now, you know. So we're trying to keep it peaceful.
But no, you were saying Russ and Future are family.
They family though, bro. We all family together. Yeah, they family. Technically they are.
Would either of them say that about the other?
There's a strong chance that they would probably not say that. But if we're just being technical,
if there's one person of the two, it's Russ.
Russ would definitely say that. Russ would.
I don't think the odds are great though. Still,
I definitely don't. Because I definitely don't think the odds are great. I definitely don't. Okay, but shout out to Russ.
Future saying that.
If I had to put money on it, Deke, I'ma bet it on Russ. Okay, because at least Sierra's in his ear, and that might just be family. You right, girls, family. It's us. We doing this. But yeah, Future, absolutely not. I don't see that happening at all, man. Yeah.
Sean Mays, Dominic Puny, have y'all spoke on him?
I have not. I don't think so.
Never heard of him in my life.
Let's see.
Kansas. 6'5", 320.
Body cat. Okay.
Offensive tackle.
I have not. Well, no time.
3-year starter.
Boom. All right. I will find out.
Run pass, option, motion heavy, zone based run scheme. With gap principles.
In Kansas.
Yeah. Looks like he was a guard too.
Now, when you saying that, it sounds like he moved well in space too. So is he a shorter cat then? How tall you say he was?
6'5".
6'5"? No, never mind. 6'5" is good height.
A little older, 24.
Okay. Got the little COVID action. We ain't tripping. Yeah, I have to watch him. I haven't watched him. Yeah, but I'll definitely check him out though.
AJ Martinez, nausea is our only weapon. Pay 2-2.
AJ team. Nah, wait, say yeah, that's the only one we got. So what I care about.
It's actually a
cut
hot
the
take.
check. That's a very hot take. That's a very hot take.
We have
Especially
Pickens.
now.
We have Muth.
Yeah, we got quarterbacks too. Yeah, we got weapons. We got weapons, man. Najee dope though. Najee dope.
We have Jalen Warren.
Yeah, we got weapons.
AJ Martinez says this is the 2-2 hater podcast.
Oh, nah, man. Blame Deke, man. That's Deke and TG, man. All right, they the haters on Najee. You know, I'm team Najee. I'm just, it's the business side that kind of get me every once in a while. All right, that's all. That's all. Okay, but I'm not a hater.
I think me and TG are talking business too when it comes to knowledge.
Y'all were just proactive with the business talk. That's all. We're really proactive.
AJ Martinez, we need to be the Steelers and the Steelers run.
Nah, this is fact. We play bully ball, man. We're going to beat you up and choke you out.
AJ Martinez says we need to pay 2-2. Needed to bring in King Henry.
Now, see, AJ, how we need to pay 22, but at the same time, you feel we needed to bring in King Henry.
Well, you know I was all for that. I would
know
have done
you
the swap.
I was too, but I'm just saying, if Najee is what AJ is saying, or what others have said about Najee in the chat when we bring up not paying him or potentially moving on from him, if he's all these things, why would we bring in a Derrick Henry? That's all, man. Like, it's real.
Right. Well,
Like,
that's Derrick Henry.
But it's Derrick Henry at this stage. It's not like we're talking Derrick Henry for 3-4 years ago.
Still not Derrick Henry at this stage.
Right.
I'm sorry.
This is an older Derrick Henry. This is Derrick Henry. You saying best case 2 to 3 years?
Right now. Running the ball, I'll give Najee the pass catching out the backfield. I'll give him that. But we got Jaylen Warren. I mean, that would have been a lethal combo, Derrick Henry and Jaylen Warren.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I was all for it. And then seeing what he got paid to go to the Ravens, what was it, $10 million a year?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that much. It wasn't anything crazy. We could have done something.
Like,
because part of Najee's contract would have went towards paying Henry.
Yeah.
So like it almost would have been like you're paying Henry $6 million.
Mm-hmm. You could talk yourself into
Wouldn't have been the end of the world.
You could make the numbers
and the Arthur
work.
Smith
That's what I'm saying. You could make the numbers work, bro. You could make it work.
That's why we were talking about Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
We brought in Arthur Smith. And Henry went off with Arthur Smith as the OC down there in Tennessee. He became King Henry under Arthur Smith.
Facts. That was where we saw the shift. We saw Tannehill. We saw the shift. Everything shifted when that was that.
And I don't think is he prime Derrick Henry? I don't think so. But I don't think he's that far off. I got to see him last year, week 18, run all over the Jaguars because we needed the Titans to beat the Jaguars to get in the playoffs. He looked awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look like he lost that much of a step.
I would agree.
And that was with worse quarterback play and a worse offense around him.
Certainly agree.
In Tennessee compared to when Arthur Smith was there.
Bro.
Yeah, he still was putting up 1,000-yard years these last 2 years with Josh Dobbs, Malik Willis, injured Tannehill. I don't know who the hell else was out there at quarterback.
Will Levis, he had some time in that little mayonnaise boy.
Levis, with all those guys, no more A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Treylon Burks, like you said, trying to be a number one 2 years ago. I know they brought in Hopkins, but Hopkins ain't prime Hopkins anymore. So there's a lot less around him down there in Tennessee these last 2 years.
Anymore.
And he's still doing things. So call me crazy for thinking that he could still get things done right now, especially if he comes onto the Steelers with a Russ, a Pickens, Arthur Smith here. I think he could have done some damage.
I'm with you, but that's AJ. That's the combo though for me, man. It's like I get it, man. It's like we can love Najee, we can still support Najee, but at the same time, I do think it was legitimate that Najee's style. Najee hasn't shown that part of his game, and that is the difference between a Najee versus a Derrick Henry. Both are physical, bruising style runners, but Derrick Henry has shown repeatedly now the ability to do that next thing, which is, be a deep shot, 60 plus, 70 plus yard tutties, man. We seen him go 99 versus Jacksonville team with Jalen Ramsey and AJ Bowie out there. Telvin Smith, it was Miles Jack, a lot of fast dudes, and he was gone. So that's one of them ones where it's like, that's the difference of this style of player, because typically those style of runners don't last long, man. But shout out to Derrick Henry. But Najee's still cutting up though, man.
AJ Martinez, we paid both 5.5 double trouble. Want them both?
Pay them both. Oh, all right.
Oh, saying
he did Najee and Henry.
That wouldn't have
load
worked.
Up on the backfield.
That wouldn't have worked.
We go ahead and play that wing take. Just get the way to all three of you boys on the field at the same time. We
that wouldn't have worked.
That, bro.
Nope. No, we would have got rid of Najee. Derrick Henry, Jaylen Warren. We still could have signed Cordero.
Look like we're Army. I want to like Army. Just 3 yards, cloud of dust. Just go ahead. We're going to hit you with all that, man. Yeah.
I don't think it would work like that. No.
AJ, next comment funny. I get it, bro. I get it. He's letting us know what he's on, man.
He says he wanted Thunder and Thunder, Najee and the King.
He said, I'm trying to punch your head off. No jab, no speed, no pretty. We just punch you, and punch you. I don't hate it. But that's
we would do that with Derrick Henry and Jaylen Warren.
It would. The Jaylen Warren element is a little bit different than the Najee element in terms of just the punch part. The Jaylen part, I think, is a way sexier combo.
Yeah, but I'm not doing 10 carries for Henry, then 7 for Najee. I'm just gonna do 17 carries for Henry, and then 8 or 9 with Warren.
No, he's saying give 20 carries to Najee, give 20 carries to Henry. We trying to run this rock.
No, I'll do 20 for Henry. More realistically, it'd be 20 for Henry, and then I'd give 10 to Jaylen. Couple
I'm like,
catches
bro,
for
you
Jalen
can't
out the
pay.
backfield.
If you pay a running back, you got to use the running back. So if you pay both of these
Yeah.
backs, you got to use them both. Because you got to get your money's
Yeah.
worth. You got to get your value
20
out of
for
it.
Henry and 20
Yeah.
for Najee is obviously unrealistic.
Yeah.
Obviously. So let's say it's 35 carries. That's a run heavy type of
Right.
team, right? 35.
20 and what, 15?
Yeah. I'm giving 20 to Henry. 20 to Henry, and then Jalen can get the other 15.
That makes way more sense to me if we was going to do it. But if you wouldn't have best of both worlds, I don't think it's
Yeah,
best
sure.
of both worlds,
Could
though.
you give Najee like 5 in
Yeah.
that? But I think that's a slap in the face to him.
Yeah, because Najee's not going for this.
I'd give the 5 to Cordell then.
Shoot, I think Najee would get more pissed about you bringing in Derrick Henry than GP would get pissed about you going and bringing IU.
Whoa.
I do.
I think you're right.
I do. Because one is way different than the other one. We can have two $20 million wide receivers or a $20 million receiver, and you're waiting in the wing to get paid $20 million. That can cook. Because they both can be out there. They both can get their snaps. You can't have two $20 million running. You can't have two $10 million running, two $5 million running backs. With Baltimore, they do it with them $1 million vet men, you get two type situation to draft pick. You ain't about to just have two backs back there in today's NFL with it being a salary cap as well. So yeah, man, I could definitely see Najee looking at that being like, okay, so you definitely are moving on then. You're definitely like, this is your decision. This the guy that you want here. And you got the familiarity with Arthur Smith. Yeah, I think 100% he'd be way more pissed than.
Yeah, you'd move on. You'd trade him.
Yeah. Because with GP, it's like, yo, you could go get Ayuk right now, and GP still going to be here this season. But yeah, I don't see the scenario where you can go out there and get a running back and then, oh, Najee, man, you good, man. Don't trip.
I hope Derrick Henry falls off a cliff. I hope he does.
Not literally. Not literally.
Now that he's with the Ravens.
Yeah.
But I still think he still has some left in the tank based off what I saw last year, these last 2 years at least. But this is going to be 2024. It's a new year, and hopefully he does fall off a cliff, figuratively speaking, like you said.
I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Just keep the positivity out there from a life standpoint. We like life positivity. Yeah.
All right. Was that the last one?
Man, let's go.
I think it was.
Let's go. We in the saddle today, bro. It's cause you fried. Don't let the people miss out on Deke's drip today. All right. Just peep the flannel combo. You see the white tee underneath, man. You see the 47 hat too. Stop playing with this man. And he got them fresh low boy blazers on his feet, man. Looking fire. All right, stop playing with that, man. I'm telling you, D got the new setup, bro. We're gonna have to show full bodies, bro. I might have to. I don't know how he's gonna set it, but we're gonna show full body. Y'all gonna get this work from Deke, all right? Deke been in here for the past year now, giving fits. All right, I'm tired of this, Deke. I ain't about to just let this keep going to rest like that. All right, I ain't about to waste
I'm
this.
not gonna lie. I like the desk.
No,
I need the desk.
No.
I need the desk.
You gonna be seen. You need to be seen, bro. I'm tired of this. Nah, man. Deke dropping fits.
I need the computer.
The women viewers went up every time you came in here dressed up nicer, bro. That's what the numbers. I'm a numbers guy now. The analytics support that data, man.
Okay.
All right. So that's all I'm saying, bro. So we got to show you off a little bit more, man. Yeah. So fire you, man. Shout out to you. So with that being the case, though, man, hit that like button one time for the coach, man. Or if you want to hit for the coach, hit it for Deke's fit because he's drippy. And if you are new to the show or the channel, don't forget to subscribe. This is what we do, man. A lot of content coming this way, man. And yeah, this downtime, supposedly. All right, so with that being the case, man, if I remember correctly, I think this first topic should be. Oh, I hit the wrong button again. God dog. Pre-draft visits. Shout out. All right, so over the weekend, I think it was the 12th, we did have a trio of, official new guys come in for visits. We talked about one of the guys leading up to it, potentially having their name being linked, but now we officially had all the meetings this weekend in terms of Zach Frazier. Obviously, that's the center from West Virginia that we've talked about potentially taking him in the second round. Cooper DeJean, obviously, is the other versatile corner safety punt returner that we talked about out of Iowa. He came in this weekend as well. And then Benny Bishop, slot corner from West Virginia, was also here. All right, so with Zach Frazier, Benny Bishop, those were local visits, so they didn't count against the top 30 just because of the proximity of where they live, their address, compared to where the team is. The rule is, I think it's like within an hour, or it's like a 2-hour window. If you can drive there, then you don't count as a top 30 visit officially. Or, you're considered a local visit. So that's how you can get it. And it's funny, too. Now on this stage, Deke, that makes way more sense. I did not go on a visit, Deke, to the Redskins because they called me a local visit. I was like, y'all playing with me, bro. Yeah. I did not understand that that's what it meant. It's just like, yo, it's proximity. I was like, bro, if you don't call me a top 30, I'm not coming to you locally, bro. You trying to play with me right here, man. Totally wigged out. Totally wigged out. But now I notice, like, yo, take all the visits, all right? If it's a local visit, take the local visit, bro. You might get drafted by the team in a local visit. You never know. It does not mean bad. It just means proximity. So those were the three, but we know with two of those names, we talked about a little, well, not a little bit. We talked about one a lot more than the other, but Zach Frazier and Cooper DeJean coming in, that does check off another one of those boxes where either one of those guys could potentially be one of those guys that we take. And just want to kind of get your thoughts on it, man.
Also, Jackson Powers Johnson too.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
That
indeed.
officially
Official now. Yes.
Yeah, there were questions.
We getting
about
officials. We're getting officials now, man.
That. Yeah, which is good.
And we've talked about the official thing, but just a reminder of what, like, while we're referencing this stuff, the history with the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, has shown that their draft picks, man, first rounders especially, or any of them top dudes, man, they're either at a pro day, they got a combine meeting, or they got one of these top 30 visits, man. And you start looking back at all the guys that we drafted, especially early on, they have some combination of that. So with these guys coming in now for these local visits, it's just, like I said, man, putting a little bit more focus on them now because of that. But in terms of both of them centers, though, man, we definitely are excited to have both of them visits happening.
Right. I was getting a little concerned because of the checklist. And they don't hit everything because Tomlin and Kahn didn't visit Jackson Powers Johnson, and I don't think they visited Zach Frazier. They only visited a few schools. It was like the big ones, like Ohio State and Georgia.
And
was
it was
LSU?
So in the way that they did, if I remember correctly, I think I wrote this down. So I forgot who went to Zach Frazier's pro day. I know Graham Barton, Arthur Smith went to his pro day. And then Jackson Powers Johnson. Wow, I feel like Pat Myers. It was something with Pat Myers and him. That's
he was
the
out
one.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, typically, there's some stat, there's some type of trend where over the last like 15 drafts, Tomlin Kahn have visited, and for the pro days, they had the combine visits and then the pre-draft visits, and with Powers Johnson and Zach Frazier up to this point, we didn't even get the pre-draft visit yet.
Yeah.
Now, Tomlin and Kahn not visiting, like that's something. That's where you say, hey, does that mean we're not going to draft in the first round? Because that's typically something that does take place for all of our other first-round picks. I'm going to say I'm not going to hold too much weight to it right now just because this is Omar Khan we're dealing with. This isn't the Kevin Colbert way specifically. Omar Khan's done a lot of different things compared to Colbert in his short 2 years here. It just feels like, I mean, some of these moves and everything, these weren't moves Kevin Colbert's made. So I'm not going to hold that much stock in, but just the fact that, you know, we've shown legitimate interest in these two guys all the way through. We finally got this pre-draft visit, the top 30 visit checked off too. It makes me feel good that, yes, all right, we could legitimately take these guys in the first round because we need to. Like, that's what it really comes down to for me. I would have been concerned if we didn't have these top 30 visits with these two. They're two of the top three centers in this draft. And we need a center. We've talked about this ad nauseum over the last however many podcasts. We need to draft a center in the first round. As simple as that. So at least we've done proper due diligence.
Yeah. The only way that I would have been comfortable with them not meeting with those guys is if it was the Kenny Pickett approach. Where remember they talked about how we were hearing them talk about Malik Willis, Matt Corral, all these other guys, and it was like, yo, it's real hush-hush on Kenny. But they said it was because they already knew that was what they wanted, and they were trying to see if these other guys could kind of like change their mind on it.
Yeah, and that's fair. You don't know that until after the fact.
So I was like, that would be the only way that I kind of would have thought like that. But now at least we know across the board, the big three dudes we've seen.
I'm not seeing Barton on this list, though.
No, for me, Graham Barton, it was because Arthur Smith went out to his pro day. Okay. So I'm saying to myself, if Arthur Smith is at your pro day, yeah, you important, bro.
We're still waiting for that visit.
Yeah, in terms of waiting on the visit, yes. But for Arthur Smith to go to his pro day, that's...
So maybe Powers Johnson and Frazier have a leg up over Barton for the first-round pick.
I don't necessarily agree. I don't necessarily agree with that because I think Arthur Smith being there, when you go to the pro day, you're going to not just get the workout, but you're going to get the meeting as well. Whereas when I think of the top 30 visit, man, you're getting medical. You get meetings, but it's no workout. Like, you're not gonna see me do anything on the field. We in suits. We just talking. Get me in the classroom. You can still do that pro day too. So that's why it's like for Arthur Smith specifically, because usually pro days, man, if you're not like one of the guys, man, they send the scouts out there to that type of stuff, man. They don't really send like head honcho type cats out there. Arthur Smith, man, that's the offensive coordinator, a former head coach, and a dude that's background is offensive line. So for him to be there, that's like a defensive coordinator being there. That's like I said, the head coach of the GM being there. That's why I look at that one just as, I don't think there's necessarily a leg up. I think it's still just as significant, but just different in terms of what they were looking at, you know?
Well, we got 29 out of 30 so far.
Who's the last one?
So it should be Barton then.
Man, bring him on in.
Can we swap out this scheduled one with Penix?
No,
we got to schedule one with this Dylan Johnson from running back.
But the local visits, are you counting the locals as your 30? Because the locals don't count in the 30 count.
No, this is Steelers.
They have
Depot.
the other one.
Steelers Depot's got 29 out of 30. They're saying, yeah, I think they're pretty good with not
salute
counting the local visits.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason to be visiting with Penix or this Johnson dude out of Washington. Trade those visits out. Get Barton, and I don't know, pick up another receiver, another lineman for a visit too. There's no reason for it. Absolutely, another corner maybe too. But yeah, I'm happy with us visiting with JPJ and Frazier and.
Now, what are your thoughts on Cooper?
I guess DeJean, hey, I'm not the biggest fan, but hey, I think he's a good overall player. I'm interested in how he'll be utilized.
Mm-hmm.
He's a football player.
Mm-hmm. Because to me, man, I see him utilized multiple ways. I think of what he could do to our defense. The same way the Buffalo Bills have used Taron Johnson, right? The all-pro slot corner, but how they essentially can play nickel every single down. And you can't run on him because he's big enough that he's physical, he's tackling in the box, athletic enough that he's covering zone, man. But would you want him as an outside corner every single snap? Nah. Would you want him as a safety every single snap? Nah. And that's kind of how I look at Cooper. Now, the convo is that
he could be
worth
what Pat Peace was supposed to be for us.
100%, but a way better version because of the size and the physicality and his willingness and skill tackling. I look at him like that. I say, man, you could bring him in here, and instead of this whole, we need that dime linebacker, right? We talk about, can Troy Edmonds play this role? I'm saying, man, we already play a ton of nickel, right? Sub package, 4 down D linemen, 2 linebackers on the nickel corner. I'm just saying, why not put that as Cooper DeJean? The same way we watch Kyle Hamilton play in the slot on defense at times and base, but then they'll put him back there at the safety spot when it's, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
well, yeah.
I like Cooper the exact same way, man.
Yeah, if you're explaining it like this, then I'd be all for it. Because I just don't like him as a corner. That's what he's consistently listed as, cornerback. That's what he's graded as. Which is fine for a couple snaps on the outside if you want to keep the defense or the opposing offense on their toes. Yeah. But yeah, I see him more as this just slot guy, Tyrann Mathieu.
That's another one, yeah. So is that worth the 20th overall?
I think that's the next question then.
The way that I looked at it was, I'm not drafting the slot corner at 20, but I'm drafting this player because I do think that Cooper, as a player, is that talented. And that's kind of how I fall on it. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, I get it. Where some people, it's kind of like running back. It's like, yo, would you draft running back in the first round? No. But if it's Bijan Robinson, you draft him in the first round. Yeah. If it was Najee, Travis Etienne, it's like, yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like,
not now.
Hindsight 2020, sure. When we was both in here hyped that night, I knew how it was.
I knew it wasn't smart at the time, but
you just leaped into it.
I did. I figured we were drafting him. I thought he was the best back of the group. So, okay. We need a running back.
I can't believe you said, man, I remember, though. Because, I was ETA, I was like, but you
I like Javonte, too.
Oh, yeah, Javonte was definitely nice coming out of UNC. Yeah. He's been banged up a little bit, though.
Yeah. When he's been playing, he's probably been the best of the group.
Yeah, you make a case for that. Yeah. But, yeah, that's the one thing with Cooper. It's like, if we're going to utilize him in that vein, and I'm looking at him exclusively as a player, not a position. I'm just saying, yo, this is a guy that makes our team better. He makes our defense better. He's going to open up a lot for what we can do versatility-wise. He can make sure that Minka, if we need to keep him back, we can do all of that type of stuff with him. And we know in the AFC North, teams want to run that thing. Teams still try to be physical. So it's like, man, we got an answer if they try to play that game, but we also have an answer if you try to space us out and make us play that way, because he is athletic. He still can get it done. And we play, like I said, we do that, man, but we do a lot of that cover two stuff, man, where his eyes on the quarterback, jumping, reading routes, which he does very well. Now, if you want him in an exclusive man situation, I think that's where you do him a disservice. But like you said, if you're utilizing like how I kind of see us being able to play him out there, man, I think it could definitely work.
You got me intrigued.
And it's more so because I saw him when they brought him in on the visit. It's like, this dude's a heck of an athlete, bro. You watch him return punch, like he's dope. It's just he's lighter, you know. I think if he was tanned up a little bit more, I think people look at him differently, bro. He's very, very light skinned, so you know how that goes, bro. It's a lot of PTSD when they get further away from the ball. You're like, bro, whoa, wait, man. No, don't go to the secondary. Come back up, the O-line, D-line, linebacker, best case. Yeah. But it's like, I think that he's a little different. I'm just like, yeah, I think he's a little different.
I think the criticisms are legit, though, about his like stiffness in his hips, and that's why we're talking about him not being strictly outside.
When you talk a big body like him compared to them other dudes, man, not just in height, the weight as well. But when we saying big athlete, bro, that's what he's a big athlete, bro.
Yeah, he ran good. He did that private workout or whatever. He ran pretty good at that.
Because he's fresh.
You can see it. I mean, he does, Frazier, like, whenever you watch him, he does explode. Like, he is right by the ball. He, you know, he could be there and snap of a finger.
Yeah. And he's going to hit you, bro.
Yeah.
He's going to hit you, bro.
Good in the run defense. And there's things that are attractive about him as a prospect.
And
but
he give you a punt return.
Yeah, I don't like him as the outside corner.
You seen the punt return?
That's
he get low, bro. He go housing it, bro.
Yeah.
Just saying, man.
Okay. So
but yeah, outside corner, nah. Outside corner, he's not an outside guy.
For a little, a few snaps or something, just to have different personnel and just different combinations out there, maybe. But
in base, you can get away with it. Base early downs, you can get away with it because you thinking more your own concepts. But the thing is this: if you try it too much, a team is eventually
not something deep, right?
What?
Someone
So what I mean in terms of the base stuff. He's not going to get killed on a deep over in the sense of how he plays it. He's playing from off coverage. That's the difference between him and Pat P. Remember when I said with Pat P, it's like, bro, because he's been such an elite athlete his whole career, eventually your athleticism fades, but sometimes that fades before your mind lets you know that. So while you up here pressing this, thinking you can run with it, and we say, yo, he don't always put hands on it. Well, when you start to slip, that athleticism is like, that's when you start to see them deep routes killing Pat because it was like, yo, early on, you're not getting hands on these guys because you're used to just being an athlete. You could run with them. You could break with them. But at this stage, that's not your game anymore. Cooper's not going to play that like that. Cooper's playing off coverage, big vision, and he already know what it is. But he's not the same type of athlete as Pat P. Pat was like freaky, man.
Yeah.
Like Pat don't got to touch you and he going to run with you, mirror you step for step 30 yards downfield. Cooper ain't never been that type of, DB to me. But I do feel like he's the guy that with certain matchups, he'll be able to man up. Yeah. But the majority of it's like, bro, trade him off coverage. Almost like Seattle cover 3 Richard Sherman. You didn't looking at Sherman to play like Revis, but it's like, yo, Sherman, you can do this big vision, run down the grass. If I got a 5 to 7 yard cushion, you're not about to just run by Cooper 4-4. Like, you're not running by that. But that's the part for him where it's like you just got to know how to utilize him in the matchups. Yeah. And knowing that we got JPJ, I'm telling myself, who's facing the unicorns on off? Man, JPJ, that's what you for. You get all them number ones, all them scaries, you're getting that. Cooper can handle it too.
Yeah, if you want to throw the short pass to the number 2, Cooper will come up and tackle too.
So that's why I'm like, as a 2, you can play Cooper out there on base downs early on. And then when we get to that sub package, you bump him in. Now he's your slot. And now I'm good. I still got Dante Jackson out there. He's still a heck of a dude that's going to be able to play for us. Yeah.
Huh.
But that's kind of how I see it, though. But that's the only way that I can see it with that. If you telling me that Cooper is playing outside and outside only, I don't like the move.
Yeah, I think it'd
like
be a
the move.
terrible call. Some team will probably do it.
You know they will. It always happens.
I would trust us to figure out a way to
Yeah,
make
Coach
my
T
Swiss
could do
Army
that.
knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that'd be.
Because the same way we use Minka at times like that, it's like, bro, Cooper is gonna give you all of that, but without having to take away from what Minka does great. Because Minka can play down the line of scrimmage, Minka can make plays like that, but that's not what Minka does great. Minka's ball skills, Minka's ability to read routes, jump, take advantage of the court. But that's what he does great. I'm like early on, Cooper though, man. We said Harrison Smith earlier, right? Come on, bro.
I mean, I actually think.
Come on, bro.
Well, technically, he should be better in coverage than a Harrison Smith
Come on,
or a
bro.
Tyrann Mathieu.
You see what I'm saying? Like, come on,
He
bro.
should be better. Like, if you're selling me we can get Tyrann Mathieu,
come on, man.
Is better in like man-to-man coverage, then you
Because
got me sold.
The thing with the Honey Badger was his instincts and his ability to create the splash play. That's what makes Tyrann like when he's reading that thing and he's seeing this combo coming, he knows when to jump this route. And that's what you can't take away from him and his quickness. Remember, Tyrann Mathieu wasn't a 4'3" guy. He just like 4'5".
No, he was undersized coming out. I know people were complaining about, I think, some of his weed usage.
Yeah, that's why he got kicked out of LSU. Yeah, but it was
so he
like,
went third round.
Yeah, but it was like
big time value.
It was like, yo, his mind though, how he sees this stuff and his ability to jump it, and when he goes, he gets it. That's what made him so special, man. Yeah, but all them dudes, it's like you can see how they can work in this thing. But Cooper's the one for me where I'm just like, it's not a hard sell for me if that's the approach,
it's
because
not for
I've
me
already
either,
seen it work
the way
too.
you explained it. It's like, all right, if that's what we're gonna do with him, fine.
But you got to use him.
The
like
question
that,
is he worth the 20th overall pick,
right,
or is that more worth a second round pick?
Yeah,
I think that's more the question.
Very true. Because it's like, yo, we got Calvin Austin as a punt returner, but now I got competition, Calvin, and I know he's gonna be here. Whereas you can make a case that, is there a guarantee that Calvin beats out some of the guys that we brought in if we're talking about going to get another receiver as well? Now, I still think he will be, but just in general.
Okay. I mean, drafted Gene in the first. It's almost like drafting a right tackle in the first. You still got to get one of those centers.
Second, yeah.
You still got to get one of those centers in the second or trade back into the first. Now, could DeGene fall to the second?
Personally, I don't think so. I think if he's at 20, that was why I was like, yo, if he's there, cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it all is predicated on what else is happening with these other guys. Are these quarterbacks falling? These quarterbacks going early? Are these offensive linemen falling? These offensive linemen going early? Because it can't be everybody's going early. But I do feel like he's still one of those guys that's going to go first.
I'm wondering if there's teams that just completely cross DeGene off their board, as in like we need just a corner. Like some of this other stuff's just too much for us. We're gonna pass. But I bet you it's the vice versa potentially, where there's teams that absolutely love him. Yeah, teams that absolutely love him, and they're just questioning, could he slide? Could he slide? Like, do we get him in the second, or are we just gonna have to take him in the first?
Yeah. Shaquille Gregory kind of brought it up. He says he's kind of like a Brian Branch was coming out. Yeah. When did Brian went first round?
He went second. He slipped to the second. But he's bigger.
Yeah. Big.
More physical. Yeah. Branch was more cover.
Yeah.
But he was nice. I mean, we really liked him coming out. Mm-hmm. And he was good for the Lions last year.
Facts, bro. Facts.
All right. Back to these supers. We're at 609.
Oh, yeah, man. We cooking.
All right. AJ Martinez, we need to. Oh, wait, I read this one actually. There's probably a few that I already read.
Man,
yeah, Q.
Bro, we on Q, bro. You know we in the bag.
Missed the last couple lives, but came to say, if we land Troy Foutno in the first, I will be ecstatic. Love his tape.
No, facts, bro. Troy's tape is nice. All right. I'm not tripping on any of them dudes. If you give me a Fontenot, if you give me a Fuaga, if you give me a Leighton, I'm not tripping on any of them dudes, bro. Any of them. Promise you, man. So we on the same page. Troy tape is nice, man.
AJ Martinez, Deke needs a tank top.
Oh, show the guns off?
No, I
don't think I've ever seen you in a tank top. Now that I think about it.
I ain't doing that.
Yeah. Do you own a tank top? I don't think I've ever seen you in a tank top. Not as like an adult. Maybe like in a pick up like the function. But yeah, I don't think I've seen you in the tank top, bro.
No, I'm not doing that. I'll wear it under the shirt, maybe.
Respect.
A little layering.
But you ain't about to just wake up and hit him with the what's the Con Air Nicolas Cage. Go out with the,
No, I'm not doing that.
Dang, all right. Leave it for AA Ron then. Shout out to Aaron Rodgers.
Steeler Nation on fire. Is Trenton Thompson a free agent? If he is, bring him back.
Like Trent. Let me check real
It's
quick.
a great question.
Yeah, let me check on him real quick. No, he's still under contract with us.
That's what it says.
Yeah, he's still under contract with us, man.
Yeah, you know what? He was pretty good for us late in the season.
Definitely more ball skill guy. He was getting the turnovers. I remember him. He had a good preseason too. I remember that too. Yeah.
Square Harris, I'm late to the show. I was at work making that money. I'm trying to be like you guys. Money making Mitch. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But is the game still going to love you when you walk away, though? Is the game still going to love you, man? Come on, bro.
Any chance the Steelers trade back into the first? Just wondering. Steelers need to bring back the Young Money crew. Love.
Shout out to you, Sequoia Harris, one more time for the culture, baby. And I like that movie reference as well. I don't hate the concept of them trading back into the first, excuse me on that. Because I think the trading back into the first and trading up in the second is the same mindset. I think the difference is if they see a player that they really love and that he's sitting out there in that 28 or later in that first round and they don't want to wait. And that could be the case we talk about with center, right? If we say for example, we did go Cooper DeJean, or we did go J.C. Latham, or we did go Fuaga, right? Or any of these other guys. And we're sitting there at pick 28, 29, and we just saw JPJ get off the board. Or we just saw Graham Barton go off the board. Or maybe two of those guys have went off the board. I could see them talking themselves into saying, bro, why wait to, the second round? Let's go ahead and trade in here because I think it's a Dallas and a couple other teams in that beginning of that second round. We just like, all right, we don't want to try to survive this little row right here. Let's jump in front of all them dudes. So I think that could be the case, but then it goes back to what you're giving up to move up. And is it worth it to you for that player? If you don't go center in that 20th spot, though,
your hands are kind of tied.
I'm about to say you kind of stuck, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo Young, we're too deep when critiquing draft visits.
Hey, look, man.
You're right.
Look, this is what we do. All right? This is what we do. We're in the heart of this thing. If y'all rock with the show like how we rock with the show, clearly y'all are football lifers. Y'all are junkies just like we are. So, of course, we care about the visits. And Deke over here swapping it. Deke said, bro, can we swap the visit out? Bro.
Yeah, because they haven't happened yet.
Deke said, bro,
Penix,
we ain't got time to be wasting no visit on this one.
Yeah, get Graham Barton in here. What are we doing?
I'm just like, bro, never in a million years would I thought that would ever be a conversation that we would have. And then I would agree with you. Like, hey, bro, you know what, low key, bro, swap that out. We ain't got to meet with P. Zoom, call the Pitnix meeting, bro. Bring in somebody else, man. Yeah. Call them on FaceTime, bro. We'll be straight. So, yeah, this is crazy. But this is why we do it.
AJ Martinez gifted Moats membership to Frank K.
Shout out to AJ. Continue to be a rock star at life. And Frank K, if I remember correctly, isn't Frank K a Suns fan? He might be. But either way, Frank K, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Steeler Nation on fire says Browns fans and some Browns players are still calling Minka a dirty player for that tackle on Chubb.
Man, they're just in their feelings. I don't think Nick Chubb himself would view that as a dirty play. It's an unfortunate outcome, and I think that's what the reality is. And a lot of people have a little bit of difficulty just accepting that. But it wasn't a dirty play, man. It was not a dirty play. Like I said, it just sucks. It's perfect timing and just absolutely horrendous outcome. But I definitely saw that live with my own eyes and was like, yep, just playing, step, outside in, low, a lot of power, perfect. Caught it when it's planted, man. That's happened numerous times, but the foot isn't planted and it doesn't result in, the catastrophic knee injury. But in that situation, it did, man. But Minka is not a dirty player. Minka plays the game with passion. Minka plays the game the right way. Minka plays to the echo of the whistle, but Minka's not a dirty player, man.
If you want to see dirty hits, go watch Vontaze Perfect.
Yeah.
And what he did against the Steelers.
Yeah. Like you said, man, we can go down the list, man. There's dudes that, if we want to just talk about their intent or the style of hits that they are delivering and make a case for who's dirty and who's not. But, the outcome just sucked. And I think that that's the part where if you're a Browns fan and this is the outcome that you're stuck with and you don't want to accept it, you try to seek comfort. And that comfort is in the form of pointing fingers. It's like, yo, it couldn't have just been bad luck. Nah, man, that dude dirty. He did it on purpose. It's like, nah, bro. It just sucks that your guy got the bad end of it, but it's football, man. There's nothing dirty about that.
That's the last super.
All right, let's get, bro. Are we finally about to get to this mock that we've been talking about for like the past 2 weeks, Deke?
Sure.
All right, so let's get to it, man. All right, because ESPN did drop a recent mock draft. It was recent when we had first came with the team, but now it's kind of recent still. All right, but either way, it was from Field Yates. I was about to call him TJ Yates. TJ Yates was the quarterback coming out of, I forgot, was that UNC? One of them spots.
Yeah, he played for the Texans for a little bit.
Yeah, I was like TJ Yates, but this is not TJ. This is Field Yates. So shout out to Field Yates. All right. So we're not going to focus on the whole mock draft, but he did do a 2-round mock draft, and I did want to just talk about the 2 picks that he had for us. All right. First round, he went with Graham Barton at center, and then in the second round, stayed put at 51 overall, but came back and drafted Roman Wilson, wide receiver out of Michigan. All right. Now, in terms of the thought process, in terms of what he had said was the reasoning behind the selection. Let me get back to my man's right. Yeah, for Graham Barton, basically brought up that although wide receiver is still a need for the Steelers after trading Deontay, they still felt like Graham Barton was one of the most versatile linemen that would be available. And obviously brought up the fact that he's played left tackle the final 3 seasons at Duke, but he also played center as a true freshman. And a lot of scouts, people are viewing him as an interior offensive lineman. And obviously the testing part for him in terms of what he did at his pro day, when you're comparing that to the other centers, it is a pretty high, his testing numbers are high compared to some of the other guys. Then for Roman Wilson, let me get
I could read it.
Oh, yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
He says the Steelers will likely target a receiver early in the draft, and Wilson has excellent route running skills, extremely reliable hands, and elite speed. 4.39 in the 40, be it Russ or Fields under the center. Pairing Wilson, who had 12 touchdowns in 2023, with Pickens would help this offense.
Respect on that, man. Respect. So, different names than what we've kind of seen at the beginning part of this, mock draft, stuff like that, whether it was through some of the national people or even what we talk about from a fan mock that y'all kind of send in. But I did want to get your thoughts though, man. Seeing Graham Barton now, he's mocked in the first round here. Mel Kiper also dropped the mock draft this weekend where he also had Graham Barton mocked us in the first.
I'd take Jackson Powers Johnson.
Okay.
He's still available in both of these.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, I just prefer him. I think he's the better center. We haven't seen Barton play there in a little bit. You can maybe argue he's got more upside. But I think Powers Johnson, man, like it's almost like one of those things you just get closer to the draft. The time goes on and you're in this off-season no man's land and you almost talk yourself out of the guys that you've had at number 1 this whole time. So if Jackson Powers Johnson is available, we need a center. I'm taking him over Graham Barton. And this is nothing against Graham Barton. Like, I'll take him if the Steelers prefer him over Jackson Powers Johnson. I don't know what the Steelers board is. I don't care. Just get one of those 3 centers. My preference is JPJ, but if we took Barton, I'm not opposed to that either.
Yeah.
But I just think Jackson Powers Johnson has been one throughout this whole process and is my one. So I will take the best center available if he's still there in the first round.
Respect. Because literally the conversation between Jackson Powers Johnson and Graham Barton is this. From my eyes, Jackson Powers Johnson has played center at a higher level. And you see the consistency. You see the lack of pressures that he allowed over the final 2 years. You look at some of the injury stuff and you say, yes, this is cool, but it's nothing to where we're feeling like, oh, he's only going to last 2 seasons and it's done. Or this is something that we're going to point to and say, yeah, this is definitely going to reoccur. He doesn't have that. So there's a big reason why, or those are big reasons why Jackson Powers Johnson for the longest time this season and off season has and was viewed as the number 1 center in this class. The reason why Graham Barton, though, is viewed as they would take him ahead of Jackson Powers Johnson is the size. when we said the whole, if I can get two athletes and everything is the same, but this is the bigger version, at the NFL level, you want the bigger version. And that's the part where they're talking themselves into Graham Barton because he is a bigger player than Jackson Powers. The same way the Jackson Powers-Johnson convo to Zach Frazier. Both of these dudes fundamentally skill-wise are very much on par. Powers-Johnson is just bigger, though. So when you watch them play, he makes the same block that he makes, but he can make it a little bit better. And when you watch Graham Barton, they're just trying to project that because of the size and the athleticism, that when you transition him back to where we've already seen him play, that's going to also be an uptick because of that type of stuff. Is it risky? Yes. Now, I don't think it's to the same extent of Kendrick Green.
I agree with that, yeah.
Going back and looking more into Kendrick was a D lineman early in his career, then moved over to offensive line, was at guard, and then moved to center, and all throughout that, he was still undersized. Graham Barton is big. Jax Powers-Johnson is big. Zach Frazier is big.
Yeah, so, they probably moved Barton over to left tackle because that's what
they needed. Yeah, that's what they needed. And he showed the athleticism and the ability to play there. But NFL-wise, the arm length is concerning for him to play tackle. At guard, or not guard, at center, you're not tripping on that. Left tackle, you thinking about them speed rush, them dudes that can get low. We've seen what that looks like in terms of us winning it like that. He would have a little bit of a challenge trying to handle some of them dudes.
Yeah, the question is, how is he going to translate back to center, given it being the NFL, too? It's not like he's going back to center at Duke.
There's
a step up. And how
man.
comfortable are you going to feel doing that? Whereas Powers-Johnson, center is his position.
Yeah.
Going back to Kendrick Green and Dotson and potentially having those guys play out position, it didn't work out well with them. Now, I don't know what Barton's saying in these draft visits and stuff.
Yeah. He has to be on board with it for all the amount of people to be just completely it's almost like a consensus when you hear analysts or people talk about him. It's like, yo, he's a center or he's a guard. He's a center, he's a guard.
He's going to get drafted higher being a center. So probably smart business move.
Hey, man. Because he's a bigger center than he is at tackle. And Jax Powers-Johnson has good size too, but it's just Barton is a tackle body type going in there to play center. It's like when we looked at Ramon at times playing guard, you're like, bro, you're a massive guard. Marquise Pouncey, like, you're a big center. David DeCastro, like, yo, you're a big. These are big body types in here that typically you like, yo, you don't see that in here all the time. Usually they're shorter, more compact, and that's the difference of it. You think about how we look at. I ain't about to do that one. Name dropping dudes, but you catch what I'm saying. Smaller guys versus bigger interior offensive linemen.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really care who they take as long as it's one of those three centers.
Yeah,
whoever their preference is, fine by me.
All right.
My own personal, I'm saying JPJ, but if it's Barton, it is what it is. We got a center.
Yeah, and I'm torn because part of me says go with the proven production, go with the guy that you've already seen and is not as much guesswork, Jax Powers-Johnson. But I get the whole convo. It's not to the same extent of the Anthony Richardson quarterback convo where you're like, oh, this is the unicorn. What if it does work out? And if it does, now you got that. Because part of me is like, okay, if Graham Barton can be what they think he can be, then it's like, yeah, now I got this massive freak at center for the next, 10, and I'm great. But that still is some guesswork. That still is he has to transition. We got to make sure that he gets back to snapping consistently. I mean, there's people that have tried to bring up Jax Powers-Johnson snapping and say like, oh, he can't snap football. You're like, bro, if you're going to say that he can't snap it consistently, and we just gonna bank on a dude that ain't snapped it in 3 years gonna be better? Nah. But that's the nitpick and that's the splitting hairs that we do at this stage to justify one over the other. I'm like, I'm not about to go there with that. But that's my dilemma. It's like, yo, one, I know it's less guesswork, but this one potentially has more upside than this one. So do you want the upside or do you go with what you know? Or do you take a chance, miss out, and then you settle on the third one? Because that one is still dope, too.
Yeah,
He's just the baby of the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all three are solid.
I don't think you can go wrong.
No.
But I think those are the internal decisions that you have to have. And if you're making the decision where you like, bro, this is my first round pick or this is how we're going to construct this roster, we commit money and everything else, yeah, you just don't want to be wrong. Because if you guess athleticism on Graham Barton and size and it's wrong, if you guess Jackson Powers-Johnson and then that does turn into that, you're like, dang, still good. But it's like, yo, that is like, because it's that with size. So
Yeah, I definitely think there's less risk with JPJ.
I would agree.
Definitely less risk.
I would agree.
I think he's got upside too. I
I
mean,
would agree too.
moves well. He's got athleticism.
Bro,
He was dominant
He is.
at times.
Like, don't get it twisted. I love JPJ. It's just I get what they're saying with the size.
Yeah.
I get that part. And I'm kind of like conflicted because the internal convo is, Moats, you weren't a size guy. You used to say F the size guys because that was the convo they would have on you. Oh, you're the Zach Frazier of the group.
Maybe Jack Johnson got a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, you catch what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm arguing against my it's an internal battle going on, bro. Because I'm like, yo, I was here when they brought it that, when they brought it this, when they like, yo, we want the size. I'm like, yo, I don't care. I don't care. You're wasting time. So it's like, I get it.
Roman Wilson, second round.
How did you feel? Roman straight.
I wouldn't be surprised. I definitely wouldn't be surprised. Looking at the guys that are still available, though, and I've said this how many times, we need a receiver early. Yeah. Like if we don't go right tackle center, then it needs to be center receiver. Mm-hmm. Troy Franklin goes to the Chiefs at 64. I'd prefer him over Roman Wilson.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But if we took Roman Wilson,
Jalen Polk as well.
Okay.
He's number 3 out the group.
I go either or. Maybe I'd lean Roman Wilson over Jalen Polk.
Ooh, my man said I'm like Troy Franklin over him.
Yeah, I've been talking about Troy Franklin a couple times on this podcast. I think he's solid. He's a guy that I think we should target in that second round. Yeah. He's got the speed. I think his route running's pretty decent. And yeah, the production's there at Oregon. I would prefer him over Roman. I think he would be like just a bigger. How do I want to phrase this? Just I know there's some cliche out there. He's a more splash player. Like he's I think he's more dynamic than Roman. Like Roman would be perfect, I think, right now, coming in and being our slot. Mm-hmm. Could he work into being like the outside wide receiver too and all that? I think he could. He's got talent. He's got the speed and everything. But in a perfect world, I'd want him slot. And we don't have the other wide receiver too right now. Yeah. So if I'm looking at someone for the outside, I prefer Troy Franklin. I think he gives us just a more dynamic play style, more X factor, take the top off the defense. I think he still can work inside too with the route running. I think it's underrated. I think the speed has underrated what he can do as a route runner.
Fair. Because that's my whole hiccup with Franklin. And I don't feel like it's his fault. If you're better at this and this is your move and they can't stop it, why change it? I don't need you to run routes like crazy if you could just run by guys. And he could do that. Roman Wilson, you can make a case that he had to be a little bit more polished at that because he doesn't have that jetpack that Troy Franklin has at times. So that's why for me, I felt a little bit more comfortable with Roman in terms of just his play as a number 2 or the secondary option. Yeah. Because I know he's had to operate with the route running. He's not just operating on.
He is. That's why I prefer him in the slot.
Yeah. So it's like I just think that translates because I've already seen you have to operate like this. Whereas for Troy, I don't know if you can do that consistently just yet because when you won, bro, you was gone. Now speed travels, but I just know it's a lot of fast guys out there at this level, and we start to find out it's like, okay, well, do you actually know how to run routes? Do you actually know how to set it up? Do you actually know how to get that separation that is going to be quarterback friendly? That's going to make it easier on you. Or are you just a Ted Ginn Jr. type? The guy that, Mike Wallace type, just take the top off, and them dudes still had heck of careers. But it is a little bit of a difference in terms of how we view them versus what we would have liked that to grow into potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it could work with. I wouldn't be opposed to drafting him or Roman Wilson because maybe it could work where he is our secondary option, but we do predominantly just still keep him in the slot and throw one of these fast guys, whether it's Quez Watkins or Callaway or Van Jefferson, just have them on the outside, drawing the defense away from what's going on towards the middle, and you just let Roman Wilson cook. You could do that.
Now, Noriega Pistol Pete Rooney. Shout out to Noriega Pistol Pete Rooney. He feels like potentially Roman Wilson could be there in 84, third round time frame.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, if he's sitting there that late, I think that's a great scenario. I don't know how that second round goes with the receivers, though, bro.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know
you
how it
see
goes.
what I'm saying about
I
Roman
don't know.
Wilson drafting a guy that I view more as a slot in the second round? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I just feel like I want more versatility. Maybe he could grow into an outside guy, but I don't know if I see it like that. I think he'll be cooking in the slot. I think he'll be an awesome receiver.
Yeah.
It's just I think we need another outside guy.
So
that
what would his
I can
ceiling be
trust.
to you?
Is
he Amon-Ra St. Brown? Is
yeah,
he
something like that.
You know what I mean? Like, what's the other cat that was in?
St. Brown's really good.
Yeah, he's like still cooks. Like I don't think we. I was straight, bro. It was straight. But I get what you said.
You need that on your team.
You
I think
do,
yeah.
Because I'm like, if he could give us that, then that still is straight. But
really
I also get what you said as well. It's
you
like,
saw the damage Edelman did for the Patriots.
Facts, bro. I'm like, yo, these are good players. But
second round, that's my only thing.
I even think
if he turns out to be an Edelman or a St. Brown, then it's 100% worth it.
Edelman, St. Brown, regular season production, has it? I would say they've definitely consistently been better than T. Boyd regular season. Because I know with Edelman, a lot of that we know postseason adds to the combo.
And Roman
with
Wilson, being in Michigan, I think he's got some of that. Like,
but he was around Brady. That's what he said, right?
Yeah,
Michigan guy, even around him. Yeah.
Big time moments, he's stepping up. Like that's why it
he
does have
JJ's
a Steeler pick
target.
feel to it.
Yeah.
If we do take him, I'm not going to be against it completely. I just like some of the game breaking stuff that Troy Franklin can bring to the table and being an outside guy.
Troy definitely could do that, bro.
It's all on how we want to form this offense. Because we might not need a Troy Franklin that bad. We might not need it. Maybe we just have a Quez Watkins or Van Jefferson on the outside, taking the top off the defense, but
or even say
that
Calvin.
Opens things up for
we've seen Calvin
the slot in the middle.
Run fast down the. It's like, bro, even you can give me that,
Yeah, it all depends on how we want to operate here coming up. So, if I had to pick between the two in a vacuum right now, I'll go Troy Franklin, but who knows what Arthur Smith has cooked up for this offense.
This is true. Watch, they're going to draft a tight end. Don't worry. They can be like, we can run 14 personnel. Yep, we ain't playing with no wide receivers.
I don't want to do that. Trade Darnell then if you're going to do that.
Oh, man. Darnell on the short list? I've seen people saying move earlier.
Trade Muth.
That's what they were saying. I wasn't on it. Yeah. It was doing the whole money talk when we was talking about Najee and the contract stuff. It's like, we just get rid of move.
We can't trade Muth.
It's like, dang, bro.
No, we cannot trade
It's like,
Muth.
yo, if you don't want to pay Najee, it's like, yo, they go shoot that move there. It's like, well, what about this one? Do you think he's on the cheap? Look at this one. You're like, dang, bro. Yeah, we ain't got to kill him to kill this one. Like, yeah. Kill him since you don't pay this one. Like, dang.
No, would you feel great about the tight end room?
No, I would not, bro. Absolutely not. No. And I like the tight end room.
It's not like we're drafting Brock Bowers. I don't even know who's a good tight end after him in this draft.
Exactly.
Who's replacing Muth immediately?
I do not know. Yeah, but I don't like the combo. I don't like how. I feel like you create another
Muth was
need.
a 700-yard receiver 2 years ago.
You create a new need.
He was hurt last year.
You're creating a new need is what I feel like. See, Chase Strickland said Muth is mid. I tell you, bro, it's like he's not the only one I've seen. Like, bro, I feel like we're higher on Muth. Some of these people be like, yo, they don't feel he's lived up. And I'm like, you can make a case, sure, but I'm like, yeah, he's produced though, man.
Yeah, rookie year, what do you have, 8 or 9 touchdowns, 500-something yards. Second year, 700-something yards. Yeah. Last year was hurt, and going back to just the quarterback play we've seen over the last couple of years, that's part of why he hasn't had the best of production.
Light Skin Jesus said he would reset Muth with Bowers.
All right, we got to trade up into the top 10.
Yeah, that's the first round. That's the best first rounder right there, baby. That's first rounder, man. Yeah.
I don't think we're doing that.
Rod Dallas say Muth is definitely tight end 2 to Darnell. I'm just like, bro, why are we?
These are terrible takes.
This is crazy.
Sorry.
This is crazy.
These are terrible takes.
There we go. Tom J said Muth is a solid guy for us. I am happy says Muth can't. Oh, he said he can't block, and he's always injured. Nice. All right, never mind. All right.
He's had a couple concussions, and then he was hurt last year I forget what it was. Yeah,
hamstring. Yeah,
he was out for a little bit.
The hamstring sucks though, bro. When you had that happen, it lingers.
It goes back to the Pickens talk. I think Muth can be perennially a top 5 tight end in this league. I don't want to just push that aside and act like that's nothing.
Yeah.
If anything, we were talking about this before. It wouldn't be a bad move to try to get an extension for him before he goes off this year potentially.
Because
Because he's going to age out the tight end position. He's going to age out better than running backs.
I'm with you. If you're picking
Or
between
Najee.
Muth and Naj, who to pay, it's almost the conversation of you're paying for what you've already had, but the future isn't as bright, or you're paying a little bit early, but you feel like the future is a lot brighter. Because for Naj, you can make a case his best years are behind him, just in terms of the running back life span and how it typically goes. Whereas for Muth, you could make a case that, man, he still has, time to get even better.
Oh, yeah.
And you can make, like...
Yeah, I don't even think we've scratched the surface of what Muth could be.
Whereas, like, with Naj, we kind of know, like...
It's not getting better.
We're not about to see another variation of Najee next year or next 3 years. Like, Naj is Naj. We just playing the game now of how long can you stay here before it starts to go there.
Do we get some more speed from him?
This is true.
Yeah.
But they bring up his lack of availability, man. They bring up the blocking. Yeah.
Hey, he could be a better blocker, but he is a really good receiving tight end.
Yeah.
Good route runner. Mm-hmm. Good hands, too.
Yeah. Like I said, I like him.
That's why you have a Darnell to compliment him.
Even a Michael Pruitt to compliment him. Even a Connor Hayward to compliment him. Yeah.
He's not the worst tight end blocker out there. I know that. But, yeah, could he be better? Sure. There's a lot of receiving tight ends that are way worse than Muth. Way worse.
Does that make you feel better, though, when we say it like that? Because I think we still want him to
we want him to get better. It just is what it is.
Got you.
Like you're not paying him for his blocking.
Respect. Yeah, because I know if it was one of those scenarios where it's like, well, since
he's better than
everybody is bad at it,
he's definitely better than Ebron. He's definitely a better catcher than Ebron.
We booed off Ebron for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ebron was a second contract guy. Ebron was a nice receiver as well.
Yeah, but he couldn't catch. He couldn't catch and he couldn't block. Like at least Muth has some type of blocking
Which is
baseline.
crazy because he came over after what did he lead? He had some kind of crazy touchdown thing. Ebron when we signed him, it's like 13 touchdowns. It was like something crazy. It was like something crazy. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I think that was, like I said, it for that right there, man. In terms of, like I said, the TJ Yates one.
I would like that mock actually. Graham Barton and Roman Wilson.
Yeah, I would say I don't hate that at all, man. When I get my center, I get me a receiver, and we kind of. I don't feel like we disagree on the receiver. I just think that we both. I don't know.
I'll be interested. Yeah, I'll be interested at the fit.
Because I was like, I'm like, he's like not my favorite wide receiver, but it's like, yo, is he still a really good wide receiver coming out of college? Yeah. I don't know if I necessarily love it. I feel like I'll be way more excited. I think of the Graham Barton pickup because I do feel like I'm getting one of the top 2 dudes at that spot. Whereas with Roman, as me and you were even talking about Troy Franklin versus Roman, it's like, is he even the best dude that's on the board right now when we're picking him? I just think it's a little bit of a different feel with that.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the Najee Harris. We drafted him and the ETN goes off the board and we're like, all right, are we all excited about Najee or do we kind of want ETN or like what's the scenario here, man? No. Cause you think about it, man. Just think about it. All right, though. All right. How's the vibe right there? I like it. All right. Then we got one super left, and then after that, man, let me find out, but we're gonna be on. We not on time, but we kind of high though.
Sean McCartney, my problem with Barton is he has upside, but he has to start right away at center. No time to see if he can develop.
That is legitimate.
Right.
Yeah, you don't get a grace period with him. You're throwing him in the fire day one, and yeah, you got to jump on the moving train. We obviously saw how that happened with Kendrick Green. Now, granted, we said that player was very different just in terms of history, size, ability, but he didn't really get an acclimation period. He was going to be starting regardless of if we thought he was good enough to start or not. So, yeah, that's very legitimate with Graham, and I could understand the hesitancy. I think if you're going to try to find comfort, I look at the Arthur Smith element, and we say this is another dude that has had success with the trenches. He has success with that, so I look at that and say, well, okay, hopefully you, Pat Myers, y'all know what y'all are looking at. Y'all know what y'all are going to be teaching and developing, and that both of y'all feel very confident that y'all can have him come in here and he's going to be fine and you're going to be able to get the best out of him. Not 3 years from now, but right now, because we don't have 3 years to wait if we're taking him and he has to transition. JPJ, you don't have to deal with that. Zach Frazier, you don't have to deal with that. Van Pran, you don't have to deal with that. But
yeah.
Interesting though, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting, man. But shoot, I think that's it for today. We ain't leave nothing out. Did we ain't forget nothing? I think it was good.
I don't think so.
And we got all the topics in, man. Shout out to us, Deke. Shout out to us. So with that being the case, that will do it for today's show. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the show. And if you did, hit that like button. And on the way out of this thing, don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. But we definitely appreciate you. And we will see you when we see you. So until next time, baby.
Peace.